Hello, everybody. I am Fedora Gamer, your devilishly handsome host, and I am, of course, joined by my draconic co-host, Gingerdragon.
Hey,
And this week's guest, we have a fairly well-known streamer, in my opinion, Lukazra, aka
Hi.
Luca. It's been a while since I've caught one of your streams, actually, though. It's like my new
That's because senior year of high school was crazy, so
damn
been a little
kids.
sporadic recently.
Damn kids. Glad I don't deal with that. No, I just work 40 hours a week for the rest of my life. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
And for the second week in a row, we have a guest from the land. Let's try that again. The land down under, of course, Australia. This week we have Sanatana Mishra, which is what is your company name? Witchbeam, a developer for
That's right.
Witchbeam, one of the developers of Assault Android Cactus.
Hey, you got the game name right. I'm impressed. You're in the elite few.
Android, yeah, a lot of people call it Android Assault Cactus, right?
That is the most
What?
common name.
Yes,
I think that's a lot more common than the real name.
A lot of people just call it Cactus now because it's just
easier.
too
how many other
confusing
games out
sometimes.
there are called Cactus? Let's be honest.
That's
But
true.
at least when they mess it up, it still has the same acronym, AAC, so...
Yeah? Yeah? I'm
Well,
fine.
I just
As long as they
choose
remember
to
the
call it
game.
Assault Cactus, Android, Cactus.
The name is definitely odd. Definitely unique, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So, second week in a row, I have forced a poor soul over in Australia to be up ridiculously early on a Sunday morning, because it's Sunday for them right now. So, I feel like an ass, and I do apologize for that, but...
Yeah, it's alright. It's not too bad. The sun is up. It's not really shining properly yet, but it's up.
Shining improperly.
Yeah, it's that kind of
Yep.
shining where you go, really, I should be asleep, but it's okay.
At one point, he'll scream out, I'm going blind because the sun will actually shine in his face. As it's coming up.
It's shining improperly in the wrong way now.
Trend new...
Well, yeah, upside down, so, we're on the other side of the planet.
Trend new thought it was called Assault Android... Aubergine? Aubergine? I never knew how to
Aubergine.
say that. Aubergine, okay.
I went through that same problem.
Confusing
Everyone
names.
in their lifetime has gone through that problem who has played that game.
Yeah.
What
We
is...
call them eggplants over here, so maybe we should just rename her Assault Android Eggplant. No.
It's not really a name anymore then. It's just everyone would be like,
Aubergine it's like Dark Souls, It's really hard at first, but once you learn it, you're really happy about it.
right? I don't know. Eggplant's gross, so don't name her Eggplant. What is...
you already did.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm saying-
okay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why that keeps happening. I will look into my OBS after this podcast to see if there's any reason it's happening on my end. Hopefully that won't happen again. Anyway, we're talking about Assault Android Cactus a little bit, but we will be playing some more of that later in the podcast. Let's go ahead and jump into our first segment.
Fedor, Sanatan, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm sorry.
Santana.
Santana.
Is,
Even though there's an A in there that everyone
Is-
ignores.
is it Santana? Because
There's another A in there.
pronounces it Sanatan, and then
Oh,
The way it goes in
Oh,
Australian. So.
How,
Okay.
Alright,
Back in the
wait.
call. We're good.
how do
Okay.
you pronounce your name?
My name?
Yes.
Sanatan.
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 Oh, I said it wrong in the opening.
Yeah, you-
Hey, I'm a
I-
stupid American. I cannot pronounce foreign names, okay?
Everyone ever has pronounced that name wrong. It's even more commonly pronounced wrong than the name of my game, so don't sweat it.
So, the A that everyone ignores is actually the last A, not actually the... You ignore the last A in it.
Wait, so how you say it again? Let me try to ingrain this into my brain here.
Sanatan.
Sanatan. Okay. I want to call you Santana. Sorry, I do.
Alright.
You play
no,
guitar?
It's okay.
Alright, anyway, what have we been playing this
I
week?
did when I was a kid a little bit, but
Okay, close enough. Luca, you start. What have you been playing this week?
So I played through both parts of Burial at Sea for BioShock Infinite.
I need to get that. I hear how it's really good. I have
It's-
Infinite, but I haven't
it's
played any
good.
DLC of it.
But I lost out because I didn't play the first Bioshock before playing it, so...
Is there important stuff you need to know, or?
Well, so, luckily, all the important stuff you need to know, they sort of very quickly summarize before you go into the second part, but it probably would have been a little bit more meaningful if I'd played it before.
Yeah, Burial at Sea takes place in Rapture, so...
Yeah, and it definitely is supposed to go along with it, but no spoilers. It's very awesome, and it's definitely a very good way for them to sort of wrap up that game. Because I think it's their last planned DLC, at least, before it, so...
Alright.
Yeah, and the company's now gone, so...
That too.
Yeah, that would present a small problem.
Of course, the franchise will probably live on in someone else's hands. I think 2K owns it now. Something, I don't know.
Yep.
No idea. Someone has it.
But still, I'd rather not a different team be making DLC for a game they didn't originally make.
Yeah, there would be some odd things there. That
Well,
pop
the
up.
thing about the DLC is it's completely different from the actual main game in terms of gameplay, location, overall tone. It's like a completely different game.
Yeah, it is.
Possible another team would like make it, and there'd be less shooting as well, and it'd be a way better, awesome experience.
That would be awesome. Yeah, just drop the shooting entirely. Just focus on world immersion. 'Cause
They,
that's what that game had.
the second part was focused a lot less on shooting than the other two. So
Yeah, actually, I met up with a bunch of the ex-irrational guys after PAX. There was just hanging out with some Australian developers at this place, and there was a whole bunch of them there. They seemed like really interesting people. They certainly knew what they were doing when they were making that game. Just talking with them about how they approached it and some of the things they did to make it, I guess, as compelling as it was in terms of the world immersion was really interesting. Lots of clever cheats and really clever technology as well. I feel bad about the fact that someone that talented and makes that good a game still can't kind of exist in the games industry.
Oh, hey, we
It's
forgot
sad.
the gift for the day, Gingerdragon. Do you have one?
Oh, I've got a few built up. Hang on, let me grab one. No, I already did that one. Oh, here we go. This is the one. This is one that I'm sure a lot of people will remember.
this will go right along with Bioshock.
There we go.
Chat, scroll down.
Oh God, yeah. That's so sad. That whole
Oh, wait.
Deus Ex.
Yeah, it was Deus Ex. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Best
Everybody
recoil animation ever.
I'll be honest though, it was like a mobile port, but I think their biggest mistake was bringing it to PC rather than just sort of leaving it as it was.
Oh yeah. Just let
What
it
is
die.
that?
That's from
So-
Deus Ex: The Fall.
So Deus Ex: The Fall was like this, iPhone, I guess iPad and tablet sort of game, and I don't remember exactly where it fell in the storyline. I think it was sort of like a side story.
It was a prelude to
Prelude,
Human
that was it.
Revolution.
And basically, when they ported it to PC, everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna be, fine." They'll port it. They spent a lot of time updating it to high-res textures. I made air quotes, but you guys couldn't see that. So, yes, none of the textures are very high-res, and it does stuff like that when you shoot.
Wow,
Yeah.
I don't think I have any words for that.
Yep.
No words are necessary. We all know.
I don't know how anyone can literally play that. That would be nauseating after, like, firing 20 bullets in a row,
I think the thing is that they were, I guess, going for like a more running gun kind of thing, which I guess made a difference, but it's not like a Deus Ex style of play.
I
Yeah,
kind of
it's
feel
weird.
weird about the fact that you've just described like a run and gun Deus Ex game for mobile that's also a prequel, because they're like, that all sounds like something I would really hate.
And you probably would. Everyone else hates it.
I mean, you're looking at the game right now, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Wow.
also linear, very linear.
So
Basically everything
Yeah.
Deus Ex is not.
Yep.
All right, back to what you've been playing, Lukazra. We got way off topic based on our gift.
Yeah. Aside from those two DLCs for BioShock Infinite, I played a bit of Broforce, which is getting more and more fleshed out. They added like the world map and things like that.
That game
And-
is ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
It
and
is. Most
they-
America
people
game
start-
ever made.
yeah, people have started speedrunning it, and it's like 21 minutes, something like that. So
Oh,
pretty
man.
cool. And I also Half-Life 2 and its 2 episodes were on sale on Green Man Gaming, so I played through Half-Life 2.
Wait,
the
you've never
past
played
week.
through Half-Life 2 before?
I never played through Half-Life 2 before because every time I'd be like about to buy it, I'd be like, you know what, I'll wait for it to go on sale, and then it would go on sale, and I'd be like, you know, I don't really have the money right now. And it was just sort of like a cycle. But
Well, hurry up so you can then jump on the Half-Life 3
no, I
rage
finished Half-Life
bandwagon.
2. I'm partway through episode 1 right now, so
Half-Life
Yeah,
3,
when
that'll
you
never
finally
happen.
when you finally finish episode 2, you'll understand why everyone wants episode 3 so
yeah, I hear that.
I
so.
honestly, it's been so long since I've played it, I honestly don't even remember 90% of the story. So,
bad.
that's kind of a fail
yeah.
Steam. If people forget why they wanted the game before you release that part, then you probably did it wrong.
You know you want something really bad if you can't remember why you want it, but you still really want it.
I don't actually care. I mean, I find the Half-Life 3 confirmed jokes entertaining, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, they're still really funny, and yeah. So that's what I've been playing this week.
How about you,
That's a lot
Ginger?
of games for 1 week.
Yeah. Too bad you haven't
Yeah.
been streaming or anything in that time.
Oh my. I sense salt in that voice.
I'm just giving you shit, Luca. You could have streamed all of the BioShock Infinite DLC stuff, though. People would have watched that. Probably.
Yeah, it was mostly just the timing of when I was playing it. Other people were streaming that I was actually watching while I was playing it.
I do that a lot, too.
Yeah.
And it just, as fun as recording and streaming is, sometimes you just want to relax and chill by yourself and play a game. It happens to me quite
those-
often.
Those games are very atmospheric, so I feel like streaming it, or like even the way I was doing and watching other streams, like it just sort of makes it a little bit less.
Yeah,
At least
less
for
is
your
the
first
experience, 'cause
playthrough.
You're not in there.
Yeah.
You're actually commentating will take you out of the game so fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first playthrough on something that's very atmosphere based is probably best to do alone, and then stream another playthrough or something like that.
Yeah, I might do that because there were some optional things I didn't do that I might want to go back and do.
Okay, Gingerdragon, how about you? What you been playing?
Dark Souls 2 PC. I've been playing a lot and a lot and a lot of that. As a matter of
Sister
fact,
bandwagon.
yeah, basically.
Oh, he's been playing his weekly. What he's been playing has been Dark Souls 2 since the console release. He's just now
Yeah,
excited,
basically.
and he's the pinnacle of like the exact poster child of why people delay PC ports. Because he bought the console one and then bought the PC one. That's what they're trying to get you to do.
And I don't regret it at all.
I think part of it is they also get a huge lump sum in advance from the console, basically Microsoft. Or, yeah, no, Sony. Wait,
It was on both Xbox.
it was on
and-
both. Okay, yeah, they get money from them to do that. So they also get a lump sum. They get the double buyers, and it's just generally a good thing for them. And everyone on PC hates it.
Yeah, it's shitty for us, but from a business standpoint, you can't really argue with it.
No.
But so, how much better is the PC version?
It is the difference graphically is very noticeable. It looks a lot better on PC.
Well, that's good. Is it? Have you tried the PC controls, or did you just sort of go?
No, I jumped straight to the. Honestly, in a game like this, in general, I could not imagine just using a keyboard. Anyways,
Because that was like one of the things they were supposed to like make them better than Dark Souls 1. Because Dark Souls 1 they were like unusable. So I kind of wonder if they.
well, the menu is actually navigable now.
Yeah, no,
That's already an improvement.
yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls 1, great game for the game itself, but terrible porting, and so. And
it's
I've
another-
heard. Go ahead.
Oh, it's another very atmospheric sort of game, you know.
Yeah, but the nice thing about Dark Souls is, in addition to the atmosphere, the gameplay is just
Yeah.
absolutely solid.
They need to bring Demon Souls to PC so you can play their best game.
Yeah,
That would be
fortunately,
great.
that wouldn't ever happen.
Yeah.
Sony actually owns the rights to Demon Souls, not FromSoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good game, though.
Never played any of the series. I am considering picking up Dark Souls 2 and finally getting into that. It's a series I've always wanted to get into, but you
Time
always hear
investment.
how difficult it is, and it'd take a significant time investment to actually get playable at that. So I was just like, I was thinking about it, and then they announced Dark Souls 2, and then I'm like, I'll just pick up Dark Souls 2 when it comes out. And I
Yeah.
should actually do that,
Now you're on your trend towards Dark Souls 3.
right?
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 confirmed.
Hey, they're not Valve, so they can
Be
probably
produced
count
by
to 3.
Although I gotta say, with Dark Souls 2, there's really two things that very much disappoint me. Obviously, durability. Everyone knows I freaking hate that. But the enemy design in this game is atrocious.
Really?
Look, if it's a medieval fantasy game, and 80% of the enemies are bipedal humans with sword and shield, which is
Okay,
just
so
how does that happen?
You're not mad about like the combat with the enemies. You're mad.
No,
about
no, the
just,
combat
like,
is
the
fine, but
types. Okay.
The combat could have been better if they put in some more creative enemies instead of just giving everyone a shield and a weapon and making
Yeah.
them run.
So let's get this straight. You're angry because there's no dragons, right?
No, there's actually plenty of dragons as well.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
angry because, like, dragons are the other 20%.
Ah. So how
There was no creativity when they made the monsters. It's blatantly obvious.
is there any moral dilemma for you playing the game and killing dragons in it?
Yes, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, he actually
it's
sits
even
there
worse though,
crying
'cause
for.
in the dragon area, you have to break a few eggs to get to the treasures you want.
Oh god, that's kind of horrible. That'd be like a game where we have to stomp on babies.
Yeah, basically. That's actually exactly.
No.
what it
It's not
is.
even babies. I'd be like punching pregnant women in the stomach, basically, repeatedly in a game to get to treasure.
Yeah, it's a little bit monstrous.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty horrified.
At first, I was gonna say, why should that bother you? We kill humans in games all the time, but yeah, the egg part, that's kind of terrible.
So, do you just like at moments just like stop and sort of realize what you're doing and just break down?
Yeah. That's actually a very good summary.
You just gotta detach yourself from it while you're playing. You know, like numb yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah,
When-
the egg part would probably be a little hard to do that.
Yeah. a little
Oh,
bit.
that reminds me, I have something special for this podcast. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, the dragon jerky. Did you actually save that from now?
Oh,
Yeah, here comes the loot crate.
Yep, you can hear the box. I decided to save this little snack for during the
Oh
podcast.
god. I heard that stuff's actually horribly disgusting.
Drop in the box. There we go. I have a package here of dragon jerky from the recent loot crate. It's very green, so clearly it was from a green dragon. And I have a
or it's
knife.
spoiled.
Yeah, that seems a bit more likely.
Yeah, okay, I got a knife. I can open it.
You really want to say something, but it is spoilers.
Wait, what
Probably
now?
better not to.
Well, I don't care about spoilers, but other people might.
It smells alright. Let's see what dragon tastes
Does
like.
it smell like dragon?
I'm gonna take a wager and guess that it tastes a lot like beef. I don't know where I might be getting this assumption from, though.
I mean, if we consider that the dinosaur's closest relative is birds, and dragons are like, winged dinosaurs,
Kind of
or
smoky
similar
tasting.
to that. What are they? Are they good?
It's kind of very smoky tasting, which you'd probably expect from dragon meat. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
this is from
when
a
I
green
get my
dragon.
loot crate sometime beyond Monday, because loot crate is absolutely terrible in their shipping methods, evidently.
Wow, I got
The,
mine way early.
Yeah, no, I got an email yesterday. I was just like, hey, we fucked up, and you won't get your loot crate till at least Monday.
Wow.
It's like, okay, well, this is gonna be my last loot crate anyway. Thanks for that.
Wait, so why would it be smoky though? Was it like killed by another dragon and then?
No, a dragon produces flames. Flames
it's,
kill smoke, and it absorbs in.
Yeah,
Oh,
makes their skin all smoky.
I guess.
Their flesh all smoky. So
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, it's a green dragon, so hopefully Gingerdragon's not too offended. It's probably not from your family tree. Maybe second cousin twice removed.
Yeah.
It depends. If we consider the Dungeons and Dragons point of view, then they were allies. But
Yeah.
in other ones, they could be enemies. So
Yeah, but at least it's probably not direct family. Maybe I'm eating his second cousin twice removed right now, but
Well, I'm gonna take a wild guess and guess that actually came from the dye factory with some cows. But you know.
nope, definitely dragon.
Taking
you mean
wild
Loot
conclusions
Crate didn't
here.
just like have a mass genocide of green dragons and send them out to people as jerky?
It's actually not that great.
Yeah. I was talking with, I think it was Ryoko, and she said that it was absolutely disgusting.
It's not
I mean,
terrible. I've had worse jerky, but I don't know. After the first couple pieces, it starts tasting kind of chalky.
You might want to like wash your mouth out and like,
Yeah, you did. Can you imagine how many preservatives they have to put in that shit to make sure it's still clean after that long of shipping?
Jerky
not that
stays for
many.
years, so just by
Yeah.
itself.
Well, never mind. Moot point then. I lied.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just food coloring, which is how they make it green, obviously. Okay, we're breaking the fourth wall here. It's not actually dragon, but you know, it's jerky that's green food
You're
colored.
not breaking the fourth wall. All you're doing
Could
is
you read the
fucking
ingredients? Like, does it have ingredients? And
Yes.
does it say?
Oh, does
Beef.
it say that?
It does say beef.
Okay.
They have to put it on there, you know, by law because they have to have
Usually
ingredients
great.
list.
Yeah.
You should like complain to Loot Crate and be like, I expected real dragon jerky.
Yeah,
Damn it, Moot Crate.
it was kind of a funny little. I gave him points on that for creativity on that. So
Yeah, because that's the only thing they got creative with in this damn Loot Crate.
hey, I love the.
It's dragon themed.
Actually-
There's two things that are actually dragon related in it.
It was Dragon and Titan.
No, it's Dragon. Titan was last month.
Titan was last
Oh,
month.
wait,
This
really?
one was just dragon, and
Wait.
somehow they did the same thing Dark Souls 2 did. Dragons. Well, let's put humans in there. Nothing
Oh.
but human-related stuff.
Didn't they put
Yeah,
the-
that's what I think of when I hear dragons.
Yeah. Well,
What would you have them put in there that's dragon related?
Actually, things that are actually dragons.
No, it's all.
There's a chance you'll get a dragon vinyl doll from Game of Thrones, and then there's the dragon jerky. And beyond that, what do you get? You get a Skyrim Nord. You're more likely than not
it's
getting
dragon related.
Yes.
At least.
There's definitely connections to dragons now. Gingerdragon has.
fucking connections.
Yeah.
That's not a theme.
Yeah,
Wait,
Gingerdragon
wait,
hasn't got
wait.
his yet, so I don't want to spoil it, but he already watched my unboxing video, so he already spoiled it for himself. And I put a warning on that video, so you can't blame me for you spoiling it for
I'm
yourself.
not blaming you. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
jerk.
know
How could
what's
you
in there
make
so
a
I can
video and
just
have someone
complain.
watch it who hadn't opened it yet? That's like.
If you
whatever.
watch my
I-
video, it had a pause frame saying if you have a subscription to Loot Crate and have not got yours yet, do not watch this. Wait, you know, it ruins the magic of Loot Crate. So I put a big warning on it.
You're
So.
acting like I was really hyped about opening it up for the surprise.
You
I don't
should be.
care.
That's the magic of it. But it's
That's
got a
not the-
dragon.
But I don't- half the shit they send you is crap anyway.
Nah, it's fun swag. And this definitely wasn't one of their better ones, but you know, I still think it was worth it. I love the cell phone shield thing. It's this sticky thing that you put on the back of your phone, and it has a like restickable thing. In the front of it's like a microfiber logo thing. So when you want to clean your screen, you peel it off the back of your phone, put the logo side down, and buff your screen. It's an awesome screen cleaner that sticks on your phone and makes a cool logo. It has like a dragon shield on it.
cool.
It's something that's worth a couple bucks, but it's freaking brilliant is what it is. I'm like, this is amazing. My screen is always covered in grease, you know?
My phone screen has never been cleaner.
Exactly. That actually, I really like that. And it had a 20-side die, like a jumbo-sized 20-side die stress ball thing. That sits at my desk at work, and all of the nerds that I work with, because I work in the IT department, they're like, "That's freaking awesome!" And I throw it at them all the time, and hit them in the back of the head with it. And so you know, and that has a connection Dungeons and Dragons because it's a 20-side die. What else was there? The Dragon Jerky, which is fun novelty. No, I don't think I'm going to eat the rest of it though. There's a Dragon Slayer dog tag, which I'm wearing right now, by the way, just in case Gingerdragon came at me for eating dragon
Oh yeah,
meat.
yeah, that thing will give you power.
It
Sure.
does. Obviously, I'm a Dragon Slayer while I wear it. It says it. It can't be long. It can't be wrong. Then again, Gingerdragon would complain. I'd be like, you know what? You talk about eating humans all the time. Shut up.
Yeah, but
true.
humans are worthless.
I would kick you out of the call, but you're hosting it.
Yeah, exactly.
And what else was there? There was a traditional 20-sided die, like not a squishy one, but an actual 20-sided die. But hey, what nerd doesn't like another D20, right? What else was there in there? And then there was the Nord figurine, and there's the Game of Thrones figurine, which I got a little goblin guy, and I have no idea. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I've always wanted to, but just haven't got around to doing it, so I need to. And that was about it, I think. A button. It always comes with a button saying what month of the loot crate was, and it has a like graphic for the what the theme was. So you always get a button every month in loot crate, so you can collect your loot crate buttons. And that was about it. I'm looking forward to next month since I have a 3-month subscription right now. So have they announced what the next month's theme's going to be yet?
I don't think so.
Let me check.
Then again, I stopped paying attention. Oh, hello there.
There's no T-shirt or anything spiffy like that this week, but you know, some months are great and some are just kind of that's all right. And this was a that's all right month.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the cell phone thing though. It is bloody wonderful.
Out of all the things you got in there, best
Yeah.
thing, cell phone cleaner.
That should speak wonders. Yeah, I know the loot crates are $20 a month, but I don't know. It's pretty low quality stuff, at least compared to the stuff I've got in my room.
No, they haven't announced the
Like
next one
that
yet.
swag would stick out like a sore thumb if I were to put it in my room. Like, what the fuck is this doing here? This is out of place.
I want some of the T-shirts. They've given out some pretty awesome T-shirts.
Yeah.
When you get when it's a T-shirt month, it's definitely worth the price. Then
Oh yeah, because t-shirts are expensive anyways.
I think it depends on the quality of the shirt, because I haven't heard anything about it, but
I haven't heard anything bad. They're not like
Yeah,
rodeo
no, I
arcade
haven't.
quality. Probably, you know, they got to keep their costs down. And a lot of this stuff they make themselves. So this is how they keep the costs down.
It's
But
kind of neat.
yeah, and so they're probably not like rodeo arcade quality, but they're probably on par with like at least Walmart quality graphic tees. You know,
Yeah.
worth $10
Which,
at
again,
least.
definitely worth $20 there, but
Yeah.
all these little, like, gimmicky things and vinyl toys, meh.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I subscribed a few months ago that they had the zombie survival guidebook was in the loot crate. That was a good loot crate. It had a T-shirt that's has Ewoks on it that are zombies, and it's Ewoking Dead T-shirt, and then the
Yeah.
zombie survival guide in the an actual bestseller book and a
Hey,
T-shirt.
look, they actually stuck to their theme. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Okay, so you don't like abstract connections to their themes.
No,
Picky,
when I
picky,
hear
picky.
theme, I want them to go with the theme, not
It
use
did
loose
sound
connections.
a little bit far fetched from the
Yeah.
theme. A little.
I was expecting more stuff that actually like had dragons. I was expecting like dragon stickers because almost every box has stickers, and this month had no stickers, which is strange for them actually, because that's an easy, cheap thing to throw in to add another item kind of thing.
I'm just flabbergasted that they managed to screw it up so hard. It's dragons! How do you do this?
You should go raid their warehouse slash laboratory slash whatever they call it, and steal all their loot.
Loot Crate Labs.
That's
what it's
sounds
called.
like a pretty good idea.
Loot Crate Labs. That's it.
Yeah, but again,
There'd
if
be a lot of loot in there.
yeah,
Humans don't taste horrible, Zippy. You probably said that hours ago, but anyways.
they taste horrible to other humans. We're not meant to like the taste of them.
I am.
I watched some documentary on like Discovery about cannibalism, and human doesn't taste good, but it's actually one of the best meats for a human to eat. The proteins are already broke down in the way your body needs them,
Yes, but
but it doesn't taste good.
yeah, and it's probably really weird to make, like, prepare in a way that would get rid of the diseases, because humans have a lot of diseases in them.
Cook well, well done. That's
Well
why
cooked
dragons breathe fire, right there.
Yeah,
We
it
actually
does
used
help to
to,
cook the meat, although our immune system isn't babies like yours.
We actually used to debate this and figure out the way it would go down at work when I worked at Sega. We worked out that in the event of a cannibalist future where we all need to eat each other and everything, what you want to do is find the vegetarians like myself and eat them, because technically we're lower on the food chain.
Food chain,
so we've
yeah.
got less toxins and things, which builds up through like the higher you're up on the food chain, the more things you eat high up on the food chain, you build up more toxins that are going to screw you up if you eat that thing.
So you openly
you know-
admit to being the person that should be ate first.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
raising your
I
hand
mean,
like, I will be eaten
The real
first,
question
I
is,
am
would you
less toxic
submit?
than you.
Well, we worked it out, and it's like, it only makes sense. You would eat me, because then there'd be the least chance for you to get basically like mad cow kind of thing going on.
I think in the case of that though, that only really matters across like the species barrier. So like if we were to eat like bears or something, which are top predators, it'd be a problem. But if we eat other humans, I don't think it would be that big a deal. Like,
Well, but we eat lots of animals, so humans who've eaten lots of animals in their lifetime are technically going to be more dangerous for you to cannibalize than vegetarians.
But vegetarians
Because those
are
animals then
generally
eat things.
skinnier, so
yeah,
Unless-
you might just want to
Yeah.
get that person that's eaten too many animals and is now so grotesque they can't avoid being eaten.
That's true.
If we look at the Zombieland way of thinking, cardio,
yeah, exactly.
fat, all those things.
And I did not know you're a vegetarian, and so I apologize if I offended you by eating jerky on the podcast.
It's not as offensive as you might think.
I guess you kind of have to live with it since most people eat meat, right? You'd have to
There's
just
like
never go out in
pretty much.
public.
There's like several types of vegetarians, and like there's a vegetarian because they don't like eating meat, and then there's a vegetarian because they don't like the idea of a dead animal being eaten. So I think like the ones that would get offended by it are the former.
Yeah.
What kind are you?
Kind of hard.
Latter.
I think it's pretty hard to exist in like the world if you actually get offended by the concept of somebody else eating animals, because like everybody does.
Yeah, you'd be
Even
offended
animals
a
do it.
lot. Yeah, you'd be offended quite a bit. Just a permanent state of offendedness.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been playing games this week. You know what I've been playing?
Yeah, so I was
Well,
about to
not
say,
this week,
let's get into
No,
that.
all right, B Hazard's the other
I
game.
know you haven't been playing that Soul Android Cactus game. That game. Who would
but
play
game's
that?
okay. I've heard of that game. I mean, it's
Yeah,
alright
6 out of 10.
It's nothing bad.
if you're into that kind of thing. Actually, I was a little bit sick this week, so I hadn't played anything. But last week when I was at PAX, I played some cool games. And
Yes,
I
you
think
went to PAX
some of the most-
East.
I did. I went to PAX East. It was awesome.
I'm so
And some of the
jealous.
most games I played Galaxy a fair bit. Have you heard of Galaxy?
I've heard a little bit of it. Isn't it
So
like
it's like
a
a-
shoot 'em up roguelike? Isn't that what it's like? I'm thinking of something
Yeah,
else.
kind of. It's I don't know how you explain it actually from just like a high level perspective, but it's got a really really nice 2D cartoon aesthetic that looks like 80s anime almost. Really long, slim characters and really really awesome retro action, like everything you probably watched when you were a kid on random TV shows that were brought over from Japan. And it plays really well. It's
Whoa.
Whoa. What the fuck?
It plays really well. Dubstep drop.
Drop the bass.
You still there?
Well, technical difficulties happen.
Okay.
That was a great noise.
I blame Australia's internet, or
I blame PAX. It's clearly PAX disease coming back.
The PAX box of struck again.
It's the PAX box.
Hopefully we'll get him back momentarily. He's still in the Skype
Hopefully.
call, but it's like his mic.
His microphone exploded.
Yes, pretty much. So unplug it, plug it back in.
But yeah, I was playing B Hazard Ultra, and just playing the new Shadow Ops DLC. Comes with a lot of new interesting ships and whatnot.
I still haven't got around to actually trying that game. I'm pretty sure it's sitting in my Steam library.
It's fun, but you do need a music library to play it as well. Which, thankfully, I have a huge one. And if
Yeah.
you don't have one, then go to ocremix.com.
Did you see that article on PC Gamer? And I only saw it because I was playing Half-Life 2. But apparently, a lot of the games like people have on Steam, they've never played.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
Like
that.
like something around like a third of all games bought on Steam just sit there, never get played.
I do that a lot. Bundles cause that quite a bit.
Yep.
apparently the most unplayed Steam game is the tech demo for Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. Because no one wants to play it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. But they force it on everyone anyway because it's a tech demo.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's free, so at least it's not a game people are paid money on. They're not played.
Yeah.
We're gonna force you to buy this game.
All right. Well, hopefully we will get our Australian friend back in the near future. He dropped out of Skype, so I'm assuming internet things. And Australia, your internet sucks. Fix that shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're so close. So close.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and what I've been playing, I guess, because I still haven't done that. We way off topic, like always in this podcast. If you don't expect that, then you've never seen an episode before. Well, I've been playing a lot of The Last Federation.
Oh, I've been hearing about that game. How is it?
It is goddamn fantastic. That game is wonderful. I mean, Arkin Games. Hey, he's back. I think.
Maybe.
Oh.
Nothing?
Hey!
Oh. You sound like you're in a, like, tube of, like, something. I don't know. It sounds like you're far away.
Is it still really busted?
Nah, it's sounding better
No,
now.
it's getting better now. Yep.
Okay.
Did your microphone implode?
Apparently, something. I'm on a laptop that I snuck into my room so I wouldn't. Like, I normally use a much more stable setup, but people are sleeping out in the spare room, so.
And now you're getting
Fine.
louder. Way louder.
okay.
Hey, it works. We can
It's
hear
kind
you.
of interesting.
Wow, sorry.
It probably, like, balanced him when it made that, like, extreme dubstep drop, and now it's,
What?
like, fixing it.
So, still super loud now? So I can talk quieter.
No, we're good now.
It's
No, it's
good.
fine.
So I was, at PAX. Sorry about that.
That's alright.
So have you ever played Asteroids, the video game?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
So you know how in Asteroids you can like move your ship around and it's got momentum to it, and you can like push in one direction and then turn it around and fire while it's kind of drifting.
Yes, I was terrible at that.
It's so Galaxy is basically taking that concept and going, well, what if we made a game that just has like a ton of different controls in that space, and it's all about independent momentum and weapon control, and it's awesome. So basically you're 2D flat on kind of flying around in a spaceship, and you can control your propulsion with like a trigger. So you've got slow and fast propulsion, and you can boost yourself around and then stop propulsion and turn yourself independently with another control and kind of drift around things and shoot them. And then on top of that, you've got a few different special moves you can do. So you can juke, which actually like pops your ship up off the screen a little bit, so you can jump over projectiles that are coming at you.
That's
You can lock
awesome.
onto- It's freaking sweet. You can lock onto enemies with like guided missiles, so you got to hold a lock on for a period of time before you can release them, or you can shoot like a bunch of weapons that you can upgrade to different things. One of the cooler ones I saw was like a slicer that goes through bits of the level geometry and other things. So you can like, drift around behind something that they can't shoot you through and then shoot back them through it. So really, really cool.
And it's
And
like
it's
inside a
basically-
bunch of caves like thing, isn't it? Like space caves or something.
Yeah, asteroids and bits of debris out in space that create these little fields for you to traverse, and then enemies that you can sneak up on. It's actually got a really cool open world style gameplay, so it's really big. I think the levels are randomly generated, but I'm not 100% sure. And then
I think
you
you're
cruise
right.
around. You can sneak up on enemies and things as well, so it's got like a stealth system where they don't just like know you're there and come after you. But I really love the controls. I love drifting around. You've got special controls on other buttons to do horizontal movement, so you can propel yourself from the back, or like propel yourself sideways, or propel yourself backwards even. So you can shoot, like, be propelling yourself backwards and shooting at something that's chasing you, and then flip it around and boost out of there. So it's just like this really awesome sense of momentum where your ship is not directly controlled, but also is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you take damage running into the walls of the levels?
I'm not sure.
I hope
I
not,
was,
because I would kill
it.
myself constantly.
He wasn't that bad at the game.
Yeah.
I would be.
Did they have like a obstacle course mode where you're like trying to race through like basically parts of the level?
No, they did. But I actually suggested this, and like very strongly, and they thought it was a really good idea. So maybe it'll end up in the game. But have you ever played Bionic Commando Rearmed? Or
Yes.
No.
So it has like a really cool time trial obstacle course mode where it's basically like a little VR simulation, and all the edges are red. And essentially, you go through, and it's a time trial for you to get from point A to point B. And the intention is that you're meant to like swing perfectly along and never touch the ground and perfect the obstacle course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think if you touch certain areas, it just like cancels out and goes, meh, fail. I would love to see something like that in Galaxy, just because I love flying around and controlling your momentum and all the other elements in the game.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to look
yeah.
into that. It's still in pretty early development, isn't it?
I think it's coming out in a few months on PS4.
Oh. Is it coming to PC or
So-
not?
Yeah, it is, but PS4 first. I don't know if it's a dual launch on both, but I do know it's like one of the... I think it's... Well, I don't know for sure, but I think it's one of the Pub Fun games, so like Sony are helping its development.
Interesting. What else did you play during PAX? And also, I'm eating more of the jerky because I'm really hungry. So, it's like,
All right.
it's the only food within reach. So, anyway, what else did you play?
What else did I play? I played some cool local multiplayer games. There's two of them that I really thought were great. One's called Slash Dash, if you ever heard of that. And
Haven't.
it's a 2-on-2 capture the flag game that plays out on like a single screen between 4 different ninjas. And basically you have like you have 3 abilities. You can slash with a sword, you can chuck out like a ranged attack, and you can teleport. And it's like checking out the ranged attack stuns people temporarily. Teleporting allows you to dodge and like moves you a fixed distance in the direction you're pointing. So it's a flat on 2D game. And yeah, you just like go at it 2-on-2 trying to grab the other team's flag. I mean, if you're holding that, you're moving slower and stuff. So
Kind of sounds like Towerfall with ninjas.
kind of is, but it's not like it's more like top down. Top down, sorry. So you're moving around and basically traversing the environment using a lot of teleport move. The interesting thing becomes like the timing of whether you use the teleport and range attack, slash, that kind of thing, and try and catch the other people off guard. So it becomes this little dance of timings. I guess that's similar to Towerfall, but it's a different style of gameplay when you're playing it, and it's very much like a team game. So it's 2-on-2. It's not free for all. I'm not sure it would work as a free for all, but it plays awesome as a team game.
Is it purely local multiplayer, or they plan on online multiplayer?
I don't know actually.
Yeah.
I think that one they could totally do online multiplayer without breaking it too badly. So
According to their website, it's a local multiplayer.
And I love those
but-
games, but us YouTubers don't have real life friends, so sorry. So
Maybe you don't.
It's hard to make
Yeah.
videos of stuff if you can't get other YouTubers and streamers in on it, kind of thing.
fair enough.
Cough, cough. Person who has game that's only local multiplayer.
I think that jerky's killing
Hey.
me, actually.
But my game's a single player game with a multiplayer mode. It's not a
Yeah, I know.
multiplayer.
Oh, so you admit that the multiplayer is just tacked on?
Yes. I fully admit that, because there's the misconception
Right.
actually a lot of people have is that it's a multiplayer game where single player is tacked on, but it's the other way around.
Wait.
Well, I mean,
I didn't even know Salt
I don't know
and
if
Cactus had multiplayer. I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever
local
paid attention to that. Just because it's
local co-op,
yeah.
all players.
Local co-op, I just kind of disregard completely and forget about it because
You're like a
there's-
local co-op. These plebes don't know how to make a real game.
No, I completely understand indie devs not doing online multiplayer. That's a huge undertaking, and I understand
there's a
it.
couple things to it.
I wish they would do it
Yeah.
anyway, but I understand it.
There's the workload that's involved. which is certainly non-trivial. I mean, Cactus in particular would be a very difficult game to do that to due to the number of moving parts and things you have to kind of deal with that's happening. Some people misunderestimate like how much complex stuff is actually happening in Cactus every second, but there's more enemies in Cactus than I think pretty much any other game that's in that space. I'd like to think. So it's non-trivial to set up online multiplayer. And the other thing is that even if we did, and a lot of people don't believe this, even if we did that insane amount of work to get it to even work at all, it would probably feel pretty average. It would not feel good like the way playing offline, like by yourself or local multiplayer does, because you'd either have to go with a solution where there's input lag, like, you know, when you play Street Fighter online and like things don't happen when you press the buttons, which would make you angry when you try and dodge a bullet and you don't. Or you'd have to go with a solution where it desyncs between the players and everybody kind of sees something slightly different, and you see people like getting hit in the face with bullets and rockets and not taking damage and weird things like that.
Yeah. Fast-paced games like that, it's not easy to get multiplayer to function appropriately. I mean, like Risk of Rain, the multiplayer is great, but there's tons of that stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, even in games like, Team Fortress 2, which has, Valve's vast array of servers and things like that, it has desync and it has lag compensation and things. It's
actually
crazy.
First-person shooters like that are actually prime candidates for like this type of game where you can reduce the amount of problems. Like, you wouldn't think so because they're immensely complicated games, but they have a bunch of problems that you can compensate for mostly. You can do like moment-to-moment prediction of movement and weapon projectile things like that. So a lot of that is compensated, and then you can compensate well because it's happening in like a slow enough space. Whereas like the amount of bullets and enemies and things that are moving ridiculously fast in arcade shoot 'em ups is just crazy.
Yeah, and those games have most of their weapons are hit scans, so you don't even have to care about a projectile there.
Well, you have to care about where it's going to hit, but only for like the instant you shoot, and then all it has to do is say, is the person within this distance of it, which is the lag compensation, and if it is, then it says, boom, you got a hit.
Yeah, and
you get server authoritative, and people don't really mind if like the server tells them they got hit even if they weren't on their screen, as opposed to like, if you were walking around in Cactus and your character just died all of a sudden, would you be kind of okay with that because the server decided that you got hit?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Now, in a first-person shooter, if you don't see a bullet coming, you just assume it came from outside your view range and never question it.
Yeah.
And
again,
you never
game would be.
Yeah, you see every bullet there is, so in Android Cactus, so that wouldn't work out well at all.
It's totally possible to do with an incredibly large amount of work, but then even in the best case scenario, it's not going to be like the experience that you would have if you're offline. So yeah.
And where were? Oh yeah, PAX. What else did you play at PAX? Because I forgot where we even came from.
So what else was I playing? I mean, I was playing other games at my booth. I was sharing a booth with a couple other games, actually. I was playing 10 Second Ninja. Have you heard of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
By Dan Pierce.
Yeah, great game.
A game that makes people rage.
It does. It makes you angry, but it's also super fun. I actually, for the first time, realized that people could struggle to finish the levels in 10 seconds as opposed to like struggling to finish the levels and get high on the leaderboards within like the 2 seconds just watching random people play it.
I heard
I played it.
Went to that booth and like destroyed the top scores, and Dan actually wiped it for the second day so people could actually try to get on the top scoreboard.
Well, so Bisnap, I think, still has the top scores like for the online leaderboards, or has very close to the top scores, because he's just like one of those people that goes to something, analyzes it, and just like knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he destroyed it. Dan had a good laugh about that, actually. And he reset it the next day so that other human beings could feel good about themselves. And then I think he came and did it again at some point.
Oh, Bisnap trolling everybody.
And he also someone discovered all the pictures of him.
I haven't seen
The
any of them.
secret's
I
out.
should look for that.
You'll be kind of surprised.
Like, is he Elephant Man or something? Surprised,
Yes,
or
he's no. He doesn't look like he sounds. So
that happens a lot when you only see the voice. If you've met the person,
when you only see the voice,
or when you only, yeah, exactly, exactly. But if you like met the person in person for the first time you meet them, you wouldn't think that. But then when you only know their voice for so long, that's when that kind of effect happens.
yeah.
I'll have to hunt those down, though. I did hear there's pictures of him. That's how most YouTubers that never show their face, like me, end up getting, then their face going out there, is when they go to a convention. And you know what's going to happen when you go to a convention. You're going to want pictures taken with your YouTube idols and stuff like that, so...
Yeah.
I mean, you're not a box-headed dude with a goatee, and
The real question is, would
Yes.
you wear a fedora to PAX?
Yes.
he wears a fedora all the time. It's like part
Well,
of his head.
Not when I'm actually at my computer, because I have a gaming headset, and it doesn't work on top of my headset.
Oh.
Whenever I leave
You
my
should-
house, I'm wearing my fedora.
The magic is ruined!
You should find a way to like remove the wires and like run it through your fedora, so like
Yes.
the fedora is the headset.
Somebody make me a fedora headset. That would be wonderful. That would be...
That'd be awesome.
That would be fantastic. I'm not talented enough for that, I don't think, but it had to be a pretty sturdy fedora to be able to like hold the weight of gaming headset ear cups. But so my
We'll find a way.
my
Wire
paper mesh
fedora.
one wouldn't work. Oh hey, yeah, wire mesh. There you go.
Yeah.
Then some of the
Yeah,
wires
we
could
found
just
it.
be
Be the most
wires.
comfortable thing to wear, but
I'd wear it anyway.
By the end of the day, you've got like lacerations all over your head, and it's just like, worth it.
it was a good day of recording.
All right, we've been going for quite a while, so I think that's about enough for what you've been playing. If that's all right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
I'll just quickly breeze over what I've been playing. Last Federation by Arcane Games. Their last two games I've really liked. The previous game was Bionic Dews, and if you haven't played that, you should. It's a wonderful roguelike with mechs. It's freaking fantastic. And Last Federation, brilliant and kind of hard to explain. I'll be doing a video of it when I actually finally quit playing it long enough to make a video of it. It's basically a grand strategy that's a lot more accessible. You're the last of your race, and you have a ship that's happens to be pretty much the most powerful ship in the solar system, but your planet was destroyed, so you have no planetary power yourself. You influence the other races and their planets to try with the end goal of making a federation of all the races in the solar system, or at least all that remain. If you've buried yourself under negative faction with one of the races, then it's just like, well, that's too much to build up. Try to get them positive, positive towards me again. So we'll just wipe them out, because you just need every race that's left in the solar system in your federation for it to be a win state. So you can literally just be you and one race, wipe the rest of them out, and you can win. But that's not easy to do, and it's all about influencing the other races and helping them, like trading, learning, stealing technology for some races to give it to another race, or studying technology with a race, because if you go to one of the races that's positive towards you, you have the ability to help them research technology, which they will all research technologies on their own and build things on their own, but you can help speed it up. And if you help research technology with this race, you get a copy of it as well, which then some technologies affect your ship itself and you actually become more powerful that way. But most of them don't affect you. They affect a planet. And so it's useless to you except for to go and give to somebody else or and such like that. And it's very interesting. It's a lot about just influencing the balance enough to make what you want to happen. And it's actually really difficult. My first game, I started in negative with race because they were the ones I stole the flagship from. It's part of the story. I won't go into it, but that's how you get your first ship. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep them as my enemy. I'm not going to try to improve relations with them, and I'll just try to wipe them out quickly. So when you first get out into the solar system, no other races except for the one you took off from have spacefaring technology, but you do. So that's a big jump, is you can go give a race spacefaring technology, and you get a large faction jump at the beginning. but then they're also spacefaring, which some of the races it's not the greatest thing. Like the warlike ones, they'll just keep trying to start wars everywhere when you're trying to unite everybody. But I went and gave the spacefaring technology to one of the warlike races, and I'm like, we're just gonna kick the ass of these people. And the other ones you can give spacefaring technology to as well, but after a long enough time, they will develop it themselves. But so I'm like, we'll just kill these. And those guys, I could not get them killed. They just kept hanging on and kept hanging on, where I'm constantly going back and forth between fighting them, which the combat's really interesting. It's like a real-time turn-based. I know that makes no sense. But basically, and it gets very bullet helly too, basically it's real-time combat that's based around pauses. You select where you want your ship to go, targets and stuff, and then end turn, and it plays out for about 3 seconds, and then it stops again, and you choose your next path where you want to go, and it lets you actually get pretty precisely aim or try to steer around bullets, which there's usually tons of them. It's very bullet hell like, and yeah, it's a very interesting combat mode that is goddamn fantastic. It is so much fun, and I'm getting Skype messages.
Whoa, just ignore them.
Professional gaming.
I mean, not Skype, but Steam. Okay. Anyway, Steam messages. And so it's very interesting combat mode. And I was trying to... My first game that ended horribly, I was trying to get, this one race to kill the other race, and I tried to get a few others to join in. They did a little bit. But while I was focused on that, this other race that's generally one of the peaceful races somehow became a superpower and just started knocking over planets. And I was like, oh god! And I wasn't in terrible faction with them, but I was in the negative, and I'm like, oh god, they're taking everything over, and they finally killed the race that I wanted to be killed, but not by the race that I wanted to, and I could not get a positive faction with them by the time they just took over the entire solar system. So it was just everything, this planet's just falling over constantly. It was like, oh god, what happened? What how did you do this?
It's all coming apart!
Pretty much, my entire plan fell apart, and that game is wonderful. Play it, The Last Federation. It's on Steam. It's great. I've also been playing a little bit of Mid-Boss, which is an interesting roguelike that was originally for one of the previous Ludon Dares, where the theme was be the villain. It's a roguelike based around possession. You're an imp, the weakest enemy in the dungeon, the weakest monster in the dungeon, but you have the ability to possess other monsters. So it's all about possessing stronger and stronger monsters to progress through the game. And it's not just like a linear, I jump into this rat, then I find the next bat monster, and it's stronger, and I jump into it, and it's just like a linear path of monsters, because you have to hop around quite a bit, because the only way to regain health, really, is to possess a new monster. Because that monster's health, there's a few skills that'll let you regen, so get some health, like Life Leech, but it's pretty minor. So you're usually, and quite often, you have to jump out of a stronger monster into a weaker one, because you're about to die on that monster. And then your imp actually has its own level, and each monster has its level. Each monster type, not every time you jump into a new one, but every rat you get the same effect from as the first one you jumped in. As you level up your form, you get the form's abilities, and you can actually equip those abilities in other forms as well, because while you're in a form, you can have 3 forms equipped to get their abilities and passives as well. Same with your imp, can equip 4 of them, and if you master a form, if you're into your imp form, if your modifiers are lower, which is how your stats are calculated, then the mastered form you have equipped, you actually use the master form's modifiers. Because that's how your stats are calculated a very interesting way. Your imp has his own level, which is gained when you're fighting in any of the forms. And you put into 4 stats that are like cruelty, ruthlessness. And there's 4 primary stats, or meta stats is what they're called. And then each one of those has 2 or 3 different stats that pull from it that are the more traditional sounding stats, strength, dexterity, stuff like that. So how your actual stats in a form are calculated is each of the forms have a modifier for each stat. Like this rat has a 0.6 times modifier for strength. So it takes what the meta stat for that one is, which is cruelty, is strength is one of the things cruelty affects, and times 0.6 equals the stat in that form. So you have a constant progression with your imp that affects all the forms you're in and how their stats are calculated in the end result. Very interesting game. It's an alpha right now. Just search mid-boss on Google, so I have a link right now. The alpha is free, but it will be a commercial product in the end result. It's really good, even though it's definitely in early development. Like, there's slots for items, but I have not seen a single item drop in the game, so I don't think the items are in yet. Mid-boss, there you go. Thank you, Luca.
You're welcome.
It's kind of wonderful. It is. And the whole goal is just to become the boss of the dungeon. You want to just become the strongest creature in the dungeon and become the new end boss of the dungeon.
Neat.
Yep. It's
Sounds cool.
kind of wonderful. And we'll just go ahead and move on to gaming news now, because we got a little bit behind here.
A little bit.
Some interesting news this week. I heard something about ESO that is kind of the scummiest shit I've ever heard in my life. Well, maybe not the scummiest. Like, King is scummier than them. But, it hasn't been getting very good opinions of it, and I haven't played it myself, so I don't really have much opinion. I hear it's not bad, it's just another MMO, nothing special kind of thing. That's why
the price tag.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
Or the subscription.
And that's what is really scummy. I heard that their subscription thing, of course, when you get the first month free, but you're required to put your credit card in before you start playing, which is standard fare with subscription-based MMOs. But in their terms of service, there is a clause that has no reason to exist except for to scam the shit out of people. If you want to cancel your subscription, you have to do it 30 days. Yeah, it's a 30-day wait. You cancel, and then your subscription cancels 30 days later. So, unless you cancel like 2 seconds after you sign up for your free month, you're going to get hit with the first month of $15. So no matter what, they're getting $15 extra out of you.
Wow.
So no matter what, they are getting, like, if you stay a couple months, you pay for a couple months, and then you cancel, they're still going to get another month out of you. And that's the entire reason for that to exist, is just so they can always get another month out of you when you decide to leave.
That's pretty well scummy.
Fuck that.
Yes, and there is...
So I'm just left.
Any chance
so
of me
scummy.
even looking into that game is now gone.
Exactly. ZeniMax is behind ESO, isn't it? I think it's ZeniMax.
Yeah, ZeniMax Online.
Well,
What the fuck are you
honest,
doing, douche nozzles? Seriously.
I think, to be completely honest, if you're trying to perpetuate a subscription-based MMO and you're not World of Warcraft right now, you're kind of starting off in a bad place.
I don't agree with that.
And then to do
I'm
that-
sick of MMOs going to free-to-play garbage. I wish most MMOs were subscription again.
I think, honestly, I'd rather have the Guild Wars model where it's you pay once, you get to play, and then there's
Yes.
optional extra stuff.
Yeah.
That's a great model.
I
It
think
is.
that's the optimal model for MMOs right now, or free to play if that's the route they choose to take. But subscription only works if you're able to release new content all the time, or your content is so compelling that people want to keep playing it.
So what's WoW's
Which is-
reason then? Because that content's not compelling whatsoever.
I think what WoW has is a really good system where, for whatever reason, no matter how far you get in that game, you're never far enough. There's always something else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
a world.
I know, and it's not for everyone, but for the people that play it, there's always something to do. Like, there's always, let's get, do this extremely hard raid. And, like, the way the raiding content works is you get better and better stuff so that you can do the harder raids. So it takes a while for that. And then there's PvP, and there's always trying to get higher in the arena rankings. But for whatever reason, most other MMOs haven't managed to find something that works with a subscription that people are willing to keep paying.
Yeah, with WoW, I honestly think it's a familiarity thing. Because a lot of WoW players I've talked to are bored of WoW, but they know it inside and out, and don't want to jump to another game and start all over from scratch. So I think that's how they retain a lot of their people. Is just it's familiar. They've played it for God knows how many years, so they're just scared to go to anything else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That could be it too.
Yeah, I'm not saying
There's
all
multiple.
of them,
The
but
thing about the human psyche, there's rarely ever one reason. Even if you think there's one, there's a lot more. I guarantee.
I mean,
Blizzard do a really good job of just like continually bringing out new content as well and keeping the game kind of feeling interesting.
Yeah, for usually there were a couple times, like right before Mists of Pandaria, which is the most recent expansion, came out. There was 7 or 8 months where they didn't release a single piece of new content because they were like rushing out the new expansion.
yes, true. But I don't know. I never found any of WoW's content to be very compelling. I played it for like 2 months and was bored of it. But I don't know. I don't like how they. It's a problem that a lot of MMO developers have, but a lot of the stuff they do when they release new stuff, they completely obsolete a lot of their previous content, which is not a good design decision because then they make these shortcuts where you don't have to level your character anymore because all that previous content is pretty much obsolete. So,
Well, one of the cool things that WoW started to do, I think in Cataclysm, they started actually like bringing back dungeons at the higher level. So they brought back a few dungeons from the like original vanilla WoW and remade them as like harder dungeons with new mechanics and stuff, but still had like that familiarity of the old ones.
that's a good idea, actually, but still the original dungeon that's still sitting there unused is still obsoleted content.
No, they replaced it.
Oh, they completely replaced
they
it with the other one.
They basically that because of the way WoW works, you go into an instance zone. So that instance portal, instead of taking you to the old dungeon, takes you to the new high-level dungeon. Although no one ever actually goes to instances anymore because of the dungeon finder.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a WoW fan, but we
Oh,
weren't
me
talking
too.
about WoW. We weren't talking about WoW. We were talking about ZeniMax being utter scumlords.
Yes, that is really scummy, but I think, honestly, if you're signing up for a subscription, it's pretty hard to get out of it without paying.
Yeah,
Like,
not really. Every single MMO in existence is using a subscription model. You go to the website, unsub, instantly you're unsubbed, and it just says you have till your subscription runs out on this day.
Yeah.
Technology 15 years ago could instantly unsub you. There is no technological reason for this policy to exist. It is a complete scam.
yeah.
I don't. It's
Sounds like most of the rest of Elder Scrolls Online.
yeah. I don't know. I have some friends that quite enjoy it, which I don't understand. Like Bionism and Slothborn. Apparently, I've been enjoying it, but I have not heard anything good from very many people. That's for sure.
But they're cool people.
Well, as I understand, the
They'd be
PvP
enjoying
is
it.
nothing short of fantastic, but
Yeah,
that's
geez.
it. That's all I've got.
I know. I have a general policy where if like the people who made something interesting like the Elder Scrolls don't want to do something and don't do it, and then a random larger company goes and gives it to someone else to do, and it turns out to be really mediocre, it's probably a bad thing.
Yeah, probably.
Well, what I feel bad for is when they try to make the next actual Elder Scrolls game. You know, people are gonna have this sort of bad blood with the series because of the
don't-
of this company.
MMO.
I think actually it might have the opposite effect. Everybody will be like, "Oh, good, a real Elder Scrolls game again. Thank you."
Honestly, I think it would go both ways. People who really liked the single-player Elder Scrolls experience will be like, "Hey, finally, we're gonna get a decent one." And then people who, of course, are just really salty and thought, you know, that was like the legitimate next step in the Elder Scrolls are gonna be like, "Ew."
You know what I think would have been a really good game and probably more worthy of the several $100 million they spent on that? They should have made just like a new Elder Scrolls game and put like co-op in it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Don't
You know,
need.
like not anything too fancy, just like maybe 2-player or 4-player or something that's like manageable.
Besides that, I think the thing is that it also came really fast after Skyrim in relation to the other games. Like the time frame between Skyrim and what was
Oblivion?
the one before it? Oblivion was a lot longer than it was between these two. Skyrim's only 2 years? 2 years
Yeah,
old right now.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there were 5-ish years in between the other two.
Something like that. I don't know. It's scummy, and I've lost. I will never touch that game for that reason alone. Even if the game was wonderful, I wouldn't. 'Cause that's just scumtastic. All right, let's move on to the next piece of news. GameStop is going to need to drop the word game, so I guess it'll just be called Stop.
Wait, what now?
What?
What happened?
GameStop is phasing out selling games and switching to wireless devices and Apple devices. The company that owns
What?
GameStop has two other franchises. They have Spring Mobile stores and Simply Mac stores. They are going to just shut down GameStops and turn them into one of those two stores.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, man.
GameStop
I've
is gone.
seen this happening.
It's going away.
The one at the mall near where I live actually disappeared recently. It just sort of left, and it's kind of weird because it was in the prime location for the malls, right next to the food court, so everyone went there and stopped by. But yeah, GameStop's definitely was in a rough place.
Yeah, this year they plan on closing 120 of the game stores.
Bloody hell.
I mean, it's pretty much all of them. I don't think there's.
Well,
Those people, I mean, you said that they're going to be converting them, so will those people still keep their jobs, or are they just getting dropped completely?
Assumably some of them might. Maybe that's a good question.
I think probably the basic store, manager or whatever probably could. I don't know if they'd want to. If you work at a game store,
Yeah, and then you
generally
go
you're
to
there because you like the games. You're not there because you're.
and have a Mac freak. Indeed, most gamers don't like Mac.
Yeah, exactly. If I were working at GameStop and they were changing it to a Spring Mobile, I'd probably keep that job. I like mobile devices well enough, but if they're changing it to Simply Mac, I'd be like, goodbye, I'm out. I ain't peddling
do you
this
think
crap.
when they plan this stuff out, they go, all right, it's 2014. There's no new Grand Theft Auto coming out this year. We're gonna have to close through 300 stores. Is that just how the logic goes?
There's no Grand Theft Auto. We've got no Call of Duty this year.
Yeah. Well, they have one every year.
Well,
This one's going to be by Sledgehammer, so prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Take-Two, right? They just lose money every year, or they do all right, I guess. And then every 4 or 5 years, they go, all right, new Grand Theft Auto. This will carry us for the next decade.
See, Dev should loves this, because GameStop was the #1 seller of used games, which is, good for consumers, but bad for publishers and developers.
I don't think it'll actually reduce the used game sales because there's still websites like, eBay, and then there's I forgot what the website was called, but basically they have game trading.
Yeah, I've heard of that website.
I forgot what it was called, but basically the entire concept is you sort of sell your game for credits on their website, which you can use to get other games. And
Which means nothing to PC gamers.
It doesn't mean nothing.
I think the whole used game sales thing it's so weird to me, honestly, that developers thought this was a huge problem, because I can't imagine how it's a bigger problem than any of the other things we've self-inflicted on ourselves that are huge problems. Budgets of $100 million, games like Tomb Raider where they sell 3 or 4 million copies and they go, we didn't make a profit. Those seem like bigger problems to me than people selling something they own.
But then again, your game is entirely digital distribution, so you've not really been on the other side of that fence.
I've made other games at bigger studios, though, and it just seems to me like there's so much waste in the industry that focusing on that, it's kind of like focusing on piracy to me. You're
piracy is a bigger
things
issue than used game sales, that's for sure.
Well, but I mean, even both of them are kind of to some degree.
How are you going to fight them? They're always going to be there.
Look at the movie industry and tell me that they don't, at least recuperate most of what they spent on the movie just at the box office.
Yeah.
And in the first weekend, even.
And then they have DVD sales and blah blah blah, and it trickles down to all kinds of other systems.
I think eventually, video games are either going to become, you've got sort of that one. I think video games are sort of rare where you don't only have that one shot because stuff like Steam sales happen, but it's going to come down to what can you sell on release, and how does that translate from your profit.
Basically, what this comes down to, though, is GameStop knows the world is transitioning to digital distribution. Every year, digital distribution sales go up, and brick and mortar sales go relatively down compared to digital distribution. And
Yep.
no matter what anyone says, eventually hard sales will completely go away in the gaming industry. It will take a while, and it will probably come to the point first where there is no real brick and mortar game only stores, and most of the time if you want a hard copy of a game you'll have to order it offline kind of thing. But eventually it's going to be purely digital distribution, and GameStop knows that, and they're getting ahead of it before it destroys them. They're actually doing it smartly instead of trying to rip onto a dying business model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, and now this next one is crazy balls, this next story. Anyone here is not much of a Minecrafter, but, you know, we've all seen the videos of Minecrafters making ridiculously awesome stuff in Minecraft, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like, ridiculous. Well, Denmark just destroyed anything any Minecrafter has ever made in how awesome it is. Denmark government made a Minecraft map, and it's actually broken up in a couple maps, of the entire country of Denmark in a 1-to-1 scale.
Damn.
Holy crap. The government did?
Yes, like, I
Like
want
in
to
the
work for
US
that
government.
government. I want to work for their
Well-
government, get paid to play this game and build stuff.
I'd say
is
that
awesome.
the U.S. government won't do that ever, because I don't think at a 1-to-1 scale the United States would ever fit in Minecraft ever.
It is a 1 terabyte download to get all the different worlds too.
Holy
Good
crap.
God.
There's a link to the
1
story.
terabyte.
I
You
kind of
like
want to
loading-
download it.
Do you have a free terabyte?
I have a 3 terabyte drive that I should have a terabyte left on. I might not be able to record anything after that because there's no room left, but
Like,
That would be difficult to
about-
load.
so Denmark, I'm going to look up some sizes here. Hold on.
Denmark is a fairly small country.
I'm gonna look up some sizes here, and we're gonna see just how ridiculous it would be to get like the whole world or something. So it's 16,638 square miles, which is 43,094 square kilometers. The United States include just the 48. Or I think would be the best option,
Yeah.
is 3.79 million square
Yeah.
miles.
So Denmark is actually a fairly small country. But when you
yeah.
translate that into a Minecraft world, it's utterly ridiculous.
Well, so that's pretty cool, and it might be one of the coolest things that's ever happened, but there's also that map that is making the entirety of Middle Earth. Like everything, but I think the Mines of Moria and I think Mount Doom is in a 1-to-1 scale, and the only reason why those aren't at a 1-to-1 scale is because they started them early before they could like mess with the map in the ways you can now.
I wonder. I would like to know the actual world size of that compared to the world size of all of Denmark.
Um,
I wonder if you can find that information.
Well, I'm sure the information on how big Middle Earth is somewhere.
Because it's a
Alright,
fictional
you-
world, so it's not fleshed out like an entire planet-sized world, you know?
Nah.
I don't know. Tolkien
You'd be
was
surprised,
pretty
actually.
good.
There's some pretty
Yeah.
big fancy worlds out there.
Tolkien was pretty good at like the world building stuff. That's basically what the Silmarillion is like just details on the world in a massive book.
No. But again, a fantasy world, when people
Yeah.
are building it, you know, it's by going off of text words, and it might seem ridiculously big when you're in it, but when comparing it to a location in the real world, maybe not so much.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can find the.
Just find like
The
the file
size of it.
size, and then you can tell the difference. you know?
Well, it's like a server, so I don't know that they have it published exactly what the file size is, but
And another funny note about this is you can download it, but and play yourself. It's not hosted on a server, I don't believe. But the it's made by the Danish ministry, you know, and they have rules in it that you cannot use dynamite and you cannot swear, and they have that like
Wait.
built into it.
Wait,
There-
what? They have rules in a non-hosted server. What?
That's what I
Well, it's
heard.
probably one
I'm
of
not
those things
sure.
that you're just like, okay, I'll obey, and then you download it and you don't.
Yeah, you can mess with the world, the like country as much as you want, just without using dynamite. Is what they. I don't know how they enforce it. They probably can't. But Denmark's known for being extremely polite, so they don't allow swearing, or they don't want you to swear in it. The download will only be available for a short amount of time, and then you'll have to only be able to download it in smaller chunks.
But it'll be on BitTorrent forever, right?
Probably.
Hopefully.
Someone out there hosting the 1 terabyte Denmark.
I wonder how long it took them to do this and how many people they had working on it.
Probably quite a few.
And they've probably been doing it since Minecraft started.
No,
Do you think
probably
they'd
not that
be able
long.
to use? I think
There's
they'd be able to use a lot of automated technologies, though, like
Yeah.
importing geographical data they already had. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually you can do. I think it's something where you can like paint, like you actually like draw the world the way you want. So they probably like outline the country and like filled it all in, put mountains and stuff that way.
Yeah, that
Oh, yeah,
stuff you can
the
do on
high
a
maps
large
and things.
scale. But when it comes to like building every town,
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that, and I'm betting that they probably missed stuff, but there's probably some stuff they didn't get or some stuff that they didn't do perfectly. Like they obviously probably didn't make the inside of every person's house.
exactly right. Yeah, exactly. And again, like the large scale terraforming, I'm pretty sure they could have whipped up. There's software out there that lets you whip up large scale terraforming stuff pretty quickly. So they probably could whip up the base country fairly fast. But it's just then building all the
Yeah.
buildings would take a while. And I don't know if by looking at, I don't know if the buildings if you can actually go into them or if they're actually just solid buildings.
I mean, like they're solid. They don't look like it from the way this image is, but I can't.
I don't know for
I'm
sure.
not gonna
either.
like download the map to find out.
Right. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a month once that downloads.
Yeah.
But Minecrafters, you've
Especially
been
in the
one-upped
US.
in the hardest way. Seriously? Seriously.
Shouldn't you in the US have like amazing internet connections, unlike mine that drops every half an hour?
They're amazing,
so-
but they're not that amazing.
So if we all went to Sweden, or yeah, I think it's Sweden has like the best internet ever.
Yeah.
You go to that one like old lady's house who has like the best internet connection in the world and only uses it to browse web pages. And you can go do this.
Now,
Well,
America
it's
is...
illegal. It's a legal right in Sweden, I think, isn't it? The internet
Yes.
is like a citizen's right.
Yeah, something like that. Sweden does it right.
You-
Australia does it wrong. And
Yeah, I like that concept.
America's
though. I like
in
the
the
idea-
mid-
America
range.
just kind of does it.
yeah.
I
Okay,
like the idea that the
so-
government guarantees a minimum like citizen's right to the internet because it's a public service kind of thing. It's a,
Yeah,
a
and
thing
your
that people-
government guarantees shit internet that you'll pay a
Yeah,
lot for.
my government guarantees it will do everything it can to harm the internet. Kind of like the American government at the moment.
Yeah.
I just gotta point out, I find it kind of funny how Fedora is complaining about Australia's internet more than our Australian guests have.
To be
Because
fair,
it's
I
true?
disconnected twice, so I
Yeah.
couldn't complain while I'm sitting here swearing at my laptop.
All right. So as
I know,
of-
I just had to point it out. It was just, I thought that was funny.
Well, in
so
America,
as of
it's actually...
2007,
Go ahead.
the person with the fastest internet connection is 75-year-old Sigbrit Lothberg, and she uses it only to read web-based newspapers.
Well then.
She can download a full feature-length movie at like the highest definition in 2 seconds.
So she
Good God.
she just conveniently happens to live like right next to the T1 backbone switch or something, so she gets ridiculously
Nope.
good. Okay, she pays for
Nope.
it.
She's 1,240 miles away from her router, apparently.
How the hell does she have such good internet then?
So here, let me.
I'll have to read this later because this
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
So she gets 40 gigabits per second fiber optic connection. 40
Why?
gigabits.
Why?
Damn.
I'm pretty sure there's a secret CIA training house underneath her apartment.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Let's see. The speed is reached using a new modulation technique that allows the sending of data between two routers placed up to 1,240 miles apart without any transponders in between.
Isn't that the kind of technology
all-
that Google's doing with their Google Fiber, what they're trying to experiment with?
I think think so, but apparently, like, they wanted to show that there's no limitation to internet speed, but I feel like that's overkill.
So they use this person that barely uses the internet as a demonstration of ridiculously good internet just to piss us off. Is that the reason they're doing it?
Yeah,
you-
Sweden's just going like, ha ha ha, America, you can't do this.
Can you imagine if they'd given that kind of internet to like one of us though? We would destroy the internet. I would download everything. I think I would
Download the
spend
internet.
I would spend all of my money. I'd cancel game development, sell everything I owed.
Get like a
and
really
invest-
good computer and like stream it like 1,000,000 bitrate. Let's just
Yes.
like
And
crazy bitrate and just like be like, look at the glory that is this thing that is on my computer screen.
I would have to invest my life savings in like hard drive arrays and just download everything. Just go to every website and like download the base file that gets everything.
But just
So
imagine
much
40
porn.
gigabit. You say like, I want to download this game on Steam, and Steam servers are the problem, not you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you'd
Like-
have to be awake 24 hours a day starting new downloads to keep it all in parallel so you're maxing out your connection.
Now it tells you what the download is on that ridiculous good internet. What is the upload?
It didn't say what the upload was. It was like fastest upload speed in the world. Let's find out.
Because
Okay.
that wouldn't work very well for a streamer if you decide to broadcast at a ridiculous bit rate, because then
There's
no
like
one's going to be
two-
able to watch it. Like, and no one else has a good enough down rate to watch at that bit
Okay.
rate. It'd be like trying to
Apparently, the
slam
fastest ever broadband speeds have come from London, and it had 1.4 terabits per second.
Ooh.
Holy crap!
That's pretty good.
That's a lot. Let's see. I'm looking for their upload speed.
It never says that.
No, because no one cares about it except for
Streamers and YouTubers. But yeah, if you were trying to stream at a ridiculous bit rate like that, like no one would be
It's
able to
all
watch
your
it. Yeah, you don't. It'd be like the people trying to watch it would be like trying to show a basketball through a garden hose.
Even at standard kind of download to upload ratios, though, on a 1 point whatever terabit download connection, you'd probably have enough upload that you could reasonably expect to stream uncompressed full quality to an IMAX screen or something,
Right? That would
which would be pretty
wonderful.
sweet.
That would be wonderful. All right, but that was
Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah. I want
40
it.
gigabits to
But
your
anyway-
home.
Anyway, it's funny because us in America complain about how bad our internet is compared to other countries. Like Korea and Sweden you'll pay twice as much in America for half the speed that you can get over in those countries. But then I feel like a dick complaining about that because Australia.
That's okay. We all get screwed. We should just,
Just got screwed in different ways.
We should all just move to
I'd like
Sweden,
to s-
apparently.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too. I mean,
Let's do it.
might be hard to understand people. The English, even when they speak English, is kind of broken, but still, there's like PewDiePie English. But
You'll live. I went to Finland once. I
But
understood them. It was all right.
But he lived there and had the wonderful internet, and he chose to move to America. So
Well, I think it was his job, like, because his job is in California now. So,
Well,
like,
they couldn't force him to have to do stuff, in person like he does for Maker Studio. But he could just
I think
live
he makes
perfectly
more
off
money
his
that way,
own
I
channel.
guess.
He could have lived
Yeah.
perfectly on his own, just from his own channel, and he makes a very good living off that. But I think it was where he wanted to. He wanted to have the connections to other YouTubers, and most YouTubers are in that area.
and
There's a
despite
pretty good
popular
method
belief-
for like forcing someone to do something when you hand them a bag and it's like full of money.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like, despite popular belief, just because Sweden has really good internet does not mean it's a better place to live than America.
No.
I've heard a lot of other reasons why it's a great place to live. Actually, I've heard a lot of people say it's pretty wonderful. It's pretty. The government cares about their. It's pretty liberal and cares about their citizens. They give them internet. It's a human right in their consideration. So in a lot of aspects of the government, it's like that. And
I think,
marijuana's legal and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. I think every country's got its pros and cons for staying there. Personally,
Yeah.
I was a fan of when I went to Finland, the fact that you're not allowed to advertise. Like just out in the world, they have banned general advertising, so billboards and things like that. And it was weird how much you noticed after a couple days that you weren't constantly being advertised to.
What do you
Wow.
mean, like they just like ban public advertisement? Like
Yeah.
none, or is it just like specific things that you're allowed to advertise?
So if you have a shop or something, I think you can have like a non over the top logo out the front so that people know that you're a shop. But you can't there's no ads for Nike and M&Ms
Wow.
and stuff.
That is
Place.
weird. That is super weird.
It is actually really weird for the first while, getting used to the idea that you're not being sold on things everywhere you look. And then it's really good. I like it.
It's kind of interesting that if you look back in history until like the 1920s to 1940s, there really wasn't that much of an advertising culture in like America. It wasn't like a thing that people did. And then
Yeah.
after that, it was like all of a sudden, boom, consumerism. Let's buy a bunch of stuff, and here are the advertisers ready to send us things to buy.
Yeah, it's a very different feeling. But it's
Yeah.
just one of those examples where I'm pretty sure there are things I wouldn't like about living there as well, but everywhere's got their pros and cons.
Yeah.
Exactly. We should go ahead and move on to playing some Assault Android Cactus, because this podcast is going to go over the 2 hours at this rate easily. So
Do the actual things we're supposed to do.
yeah,
You know,
Yes,
if you wanna
getting
skip
off
it-
topic.
If you want to skip it and we could talk about Kickstarter stuff, I'm happy just to recommend everybody download the demo, because we have a demo and it's free, obviously, as demos should be. And it's one of those things where people aren't really doing demos these days, but I totally like the idea of someone playing the game before they decide if they want to put money down. So
Yeah.
do that.
Actually, they have a really super special demo for $15. You should just get
It's bigger
that.
than a demo.
yes, that is the best
Actually,
demo.
Oh yeah.
I was kicking
Definitive
around
demo.
talking the other day with Tim about things and how much we'd like to do like a shareware version of the game. Shareware was cool, man. That was
Yeah.
that was the way.
Shareware?
Yeah.
That's
You know
been a
shareware?
thing in a
Young.
long time. Yes, you're too young.
God damn.
Wow.
All right, what
So
is it?
shareware was this concept where you take a whole huge portion of your game, not just like a demo, but in the case of Cactus, it would be like the whole first world or something like that, and you just give that to people, and they are encouraged to share it to other people. Like you can give it to whoever you want.
Okay.
Everyone can have
Yeah,
it,
I see.
and it at the end of it, it goes, "This was like shareware. If you like the game, you can go find it here." It's just nice. They used to do that back in the day as a method of advertisement, but also to give. It was really generous. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like they were trying to screw you, like the 5-minute demos where it goes, "Insert coin now."
All right, I fired it up,
Yeah.
and it's been a while since I played, so I'll probably be pretty horrible at it. But no, we're definitely going to play it some, because that's the whole reason we bring indie devs on, is to show off their games. So
Yeah, that's the only reason you're even here.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
when you put it
I
like
thought I was
that.
here. I thought I was here to talk about Finland and the internet.
Dude, Finland is probably the only actual reason he brought you. He's like, this game's kind of,
Well, he does
Kinda
have a
eh.
fetish for foreign people.
but he likes Finland, so
I do.
let's bring him
Oh.
on.
Come on, play Starch. Starch is cool.
I do like Starch. Aubergine, if I'm saying that right, I don't know yet.
Aubergine.
Aubergine. She's really interesting, and the death yo-yo weapon is what I call it, and it's kind of wonderful, but I cannot use it effectively whatsoever.
Oh god, I love Aubergine. She's easily my favorite.
By the way, what's the ETA for the next character? Because you guys have two
So the
more.
next, she's totally done. The next character is actually finished, and we're working on the third boss because we want to put the
Oh,
boss
yeah.
in so you can beat the boss and unlock her.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. You gotta have
It's
that.
it's hard to say when it'll come out, but I'm hoping it'll be somewhere in the realm of a week from now, kind of thing. If we
You should
get it
you
together.
should make a giant fedora boss. That's just a giant fedora.
Do it.
And all it is
Fedora bot.
It's Fedora's voice, and it just talks about all the bad news of the day.
No, you don't want me to do
Always.
voice acting. That'd probably be pretty horrible. I would probably be terrible at voice acting.
You wouldn't want to voice act the giant fedora?
I would try, but acting. I've never done acting before, so.
It's not acting. You're just complaining about the world. You do that all the time.
Oh God. Yeah, elevator stops. I love the dynamic levels of this game. That's seriously one of the strongest points in my opinion. I generally don't tend to like most, dual stick shooters. I find them kind of boring and shallow. That is not the case with this game. The dynamic levels are wonderful. The very different life mechanic where you don't die, kind of thing. The battery mechanic, I love that. And it gives that sense of urgency,
You know what I love?
Huh.
The game forgot about my progress, so I'm having to play the tutorial again.
Oh, really? Did you like play it on a different machine now or something? Because we don't
actually,
have
yeah, that's right. I don't know
saves
if I
in
played
yet.
it on this machine.
Yeah.
We're putting that's coming in soon because right now we're doing like the stat system and kind of recording systems, and as that goes in, we're gonna start using the the Steam cloud stuff. So it'll just save it and sync it between machines. But right now it's all local saves. And you can skip the tutorial, just hit escape and go level select.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. But then I won't get to look at the cute pictures.
They're pretty funny.
They are.
Actually, we have different ones of those on our 3 business cards, me, Tim, and Jeff. So like, if you get the 3 cards, they've each got like a different little cactus on them.
Oh, that's
Funny.
brilliant. You made your business
Nice.
cards into like collectible cards. People want to collect your business cards to get all of
Yeah,
them.
and they're different colors as well. Mine are blue, and Tim's are green, and Jeff's are red. I think
Just like to mail me those, that'd be great. Yeah, I
Dude, that gave me a
That's
brilliant
probably-
idea.
that
YouTubers
would
should.
cost
Yeah.
a lot more than it's worth. Actually, to like mail them across the ocean just to like mail me business cards.
These
Nope.
are like the beta ones. At some point in the future, we want to do nice like bits of artwork that line up with each other if you put the cards like along.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That gave me a brilliant idea that somebody needs to make happen during a convention one time. Is like YouTubers and devs should have like a set of cards that are like
Oh, you could
a
like
CCG
like a
card.
bingo,
No, a
like a bingo
CCG.
game. Yeah.
Not like CCG
that's-
cards. And then
That is
people want to go
genius.
around and collect them from the YouTubers, and there's a set for YouTubers and a set for indie devs that
I
people
think-
want to go around. Yeah, I know, it would be wonderful.
I think what people do a lot of times with things like that is they take you to like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering or something, and both of them have like card builders, and they just make sets of cards that are for both of those.
I know
And,
Yeah.
Brawl was
'Cause you could,
making like
do
YouTuber
it
and
in a-
streamer cards, so
Yeah.
get him on that.
Yeah, you could start like a company and like partner with a bunch of developers and YouTubers and basically agree to like get cards for them where the back of the card has card stats. and
That would
just
make
have
it
all the
into an
details on the
actual
front.
CCG game, though. Make the cards, actually function in
Yeah.
a game. And then you wouldn't want
Yeah,
to have the
absolutely.
contact information on the back, though, because then people will be able to see the back of the card and know what the card is. So,
Yeah, so
like
you
in the
have,
flavor
like,
text would be contact information. Ah,
That's actually really
So-
that's a cool idea.
That
It's
is.
almost impossible to actually do, but it's a cool idea.
well, the organization would be, it would be hard, very hard to organize that. I got A rank. I'm not like an S+ rank player of this game, by the way. That does not happen for me.
Speaking of S+, that's why I was so quiet right there. 5 enemies away from the S+.
Oh, so close.
Damn.
I don't think I have any S pluses because I haven't played it since you guys like wiped them all like the 4th or 5th time or something.
Well, it's early access.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
we don't wipe all the levels. We only wipe like the
yeah,
ones
you
we
only like
changed.
significant changes, yeah. But I think I got like S rank on Vespilla at one point, and then like Aubergine came out, and you guys changed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing that again because it was really hard the first time.
Yeah, I'm just sad that I lost the proof that I finished Convection.
It'll be on your other computer somewhere.
Somewhere.
Convection? What is
God,
that?
Convection, that level is hell, and I love it.
It's probably the favorite level that I worked on actually is Convection. That
Battery.
one and Influx with the changing blocks.
Battery, I need you. Thank you. And some levels are definitely easier to S+ with certain characters, but it is possible to S+ every level with every character, so.
There's
like-
just some optimal things.
Yeah, some bosses,
I-
certain characters are definitely better for.
Well,
Seriously,
for
try
instance,
find-
Then you
definitely easier to beat the boss with the character you unlock after you beat the boss. Like Vespa
You
is
reckon?
pretty nice with Aubergine.
Nothing's
And,
nice with her for me. I can't play that character whatsoever.
It's not that hard. You just have to sort of figure it out.
I was thinking of buffing Aubergine actually. I haven't decided how yet, but I was thinking about it. I think she's cool. I'd like her to be a little bit more dominant on the leaderboard.
Oh, Jesus.
Not dominant necessarily, but she's only on a few levels, and I'd like her to be
It's
on
definitely a niche character that it has a high skill ceiling. You can be amazing with that character if you're really good.
Oh yeah, I love Aubergine. It was rough to get the handle at first, but my god.
I am
it's such a
getting
fun fun.
destroyed. Oh god, I'm down. This dark level, it messes with me.
Ah, damn. Not quite S plus again.
Welcome back, Zippy. We are playing some
Oh.
Assault Android Cactus. If you've never played it, then you are doing life wrong.
Ooh, I'm not playing Lemon on
Doing
this
life.
stage. Oh god, this stage sucks with Lemon.
Should play some of my favorite stages. I really like Revolution now. I think it's really good now. It was kind of too hard for a long time, but now it's cool.
Oh jeez, you actually put the textures on the third world. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
what do
been
you
a while
think?
since I played this. I apologize.
No, it's
Guess I'm
alright.
gonna
And there'll
open
be
it up now.
some new stuff coming soon. Gonna be
haven't
graphics
seen
for
it.
one of the World 5 levels in the next update as well.
Eat.
I can't talk much and play this. I'm just going to say that. Okay, power
No,
up.
it's actually
Turn to
honestly,
red.
It's a
Oh, God.
thing we've talked about, and like it actually makes it hard to market the game in some ways, and that anybody who would be playing it and talking to us about it can't do both simultaneously. It's too intense.
Some streamers can do
Yeah,
it, but
this
not
is one of
me.
these games where if I were to do a sales pitch video on it, I would definitely post commentate. There's no way.
Oh man, Revolution looks so cool right now.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it
You
right
like
now.
it?
You can even see the arrows on the light things. That's such a nice touch.
In
Yeah.
the level called Heat, like when it changes through the different states, you get fire on the walls and like animates a little fire icon, and then later
Nice.
like smoke when it turns off.
Yeah, right now World 3. Just,
Holy shit,
it's probably my
suddenly
favorite
surrounded. I probably
One of my
won't be able to
favorite,
complete a level in World 3 at all right now. It's been a while since
Go
I
for it.
played. I'll try after
Try
this one.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint's really good.
Checkpoint's definitely
Oh, yeah,
the
Checkpoint's
most
nice.
dynamic level I think you guys have in terms of like straight up movement of the level from area to area.
Relay also does a similar thing if you haven't tried it from World 4,
I
but
might,
in like
I
a
might not
totally different style.
I don't think I've tried that one. No, I'll have to look at that after I finish this
Doesn't-
map.
No
Nope.
graphics in Relay yet, but it's gonna be cool. It'll be set out in space outside the ship. That's what World 4 is.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
So,
the first zone is inside in like the cargo area. Second zone is in like hydroponics / medbay. Third zone is security checkpoints, like the security area. Fourth zone is outside the ship, and fifth zone is in like the shore area.
Oh, God,
Checkpoint
those
is
giant,
interesting.
Like, laser ones are really hard to get rid of. Get it. All right, we got it. We're good.
It happened again on a complete toll roll, and it all fell apart. Yeah.
That's the way it
Really
goes.
far on a level, and it's just like.
God, I forgot how fun this is.
Well, the neat part is
Thank
like
you.
the music changes, so you get like really into it, and then when it like all sort of falls apart and it gets really quiet, and you're just like, oh man, it's really depressing now.
It's terrible for me to say this after you use words like that, but that was like what we intended.
Well, yeah, I hope so. If it's not, you did a great job of doing it anyway.
I will admit one thing that's still a bit weird here is it still says tap power or tap fire to get up, but on a gamepad, if you tap fire, it doesn't get up. You have to hit A instead.
Oh, you can tap anything. If you tap fire, it'll work as well. You just need to tap
Maybe
enough
my
times.
button's not right then. I don't know.
You have to, if it's a trigger, you have to release it all the way.
Oh, then yeah, that would explain it actually. God.
Maybe that's something that could be changed, so it's a little bit more intuitive. Oh my
The
god.
problem is it like reads the input because it's trying to get, and the way triggers read is in analog range. So
Ah, so you're searching for the digital input in an analog. Yeah.
yeah, it's like trying to pick it up. And I think we actually have some leniency, so it tries to not care so much about the full release, but it's still tough depending on what your controller is and what the reading is, because you get different readings from like Xbox 360 versus Logitech versus PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that being a problem.
Maybe you should just change the message to tap anything to get up.
Well, I wanted to tap fire, and tap fire is like, then you know what to tap as well, because it works. Like on gamepad, we do map it to any of the buttons that are on the face, but I wouldn't want them like tapping the movement keys or something, because that doesn't work. So
Okay,
the intention is that you tap fire, but it's like we let you tap anything, because actually a lot of people, when they read tap fire, they assume on a gamepad that means tap A, even though they've never been using the A button to fire.
Really?
Well, I'm not one of those people.
Oh my god, I'm like literally going down as soon as I hit the battery. It's getting like really tight here.
Yeah, Revolution only got a B on it. I'm disappointed.
I'm
What do
probably
you think of the
gonna
new
do it.
That's
enemy
interesting.
types?
Even though I can't.
The jellyfish of Doom are scary.
Checkpoint was pretty great. I love the floors. They're like shiny.
I find it interesting
No.
how Justice, the security robot, is on what appears to be the social media floor.
Social media. Well, this is the security floor, so they're like.
This is security?
Yeah, this is
Interesting.
security area. That's
Yeah,
why
I
it's so
got it.
clean and like well lit like that. The walls can actually show you. They don't have to show you music quantization. They can show you all kinds of stuff. So like in Revolution, they're showing you the direction and speed of the rotation, like the little arrows are animating. In Checkpoint, they're showing you the music as a quantization, because we thought it was like really interesting for a dynamic movie.
It's been a while since I played. I'm getting dominated here by Embryo.
Oh, he'll hit you. He
Yes.
doesn't care.
Oh yeah, he hurts.
In Heat, they show you like
my-
the state of the fire and things like that, so they're reflecting different bits of the dynamic level. Transit, I'm not sure what they're going to show you, or if it'll even be those exact walls, because it's like a train ride.
Yeah, so
Transit's
he
gonna look a
actually
little
moved
bit-
into that one just now.
No, Zippy. The third boss hasn't been implemented yet.
Yeah, we won't know more about Starch's lore. I say lore very lightly. She's just a psychomaniac.
Starch? Yeah. Well, she's like,
She's cool.
I guess from playing Bioshock, she's kind of like one of the little sisters.
Yeah,
Yes.
completely amoral. You know, just
Amoral and completely childish about it.
And I love it.
Oh God, no! Get up! Get
No,
up!
Ow, pain.
Give me that battery!
Ow.
Give me that! Oh
Relay's
God, I missed the
hard.
battery.
That's
Whoa.
going to be tough against a boss.
Yeah, most
I used to be
bosses
good at
have
this boss,
exactly
but
the
it's been a while since I played. So, uh-oh. Okay, battery, please give me battery.
That is really cool how it tells you the state of the fire on the lights, though. I really like that.
And it's not something you really pay attention to all the time, but we think it's a nice little touch if you are noticing it.
State
Yeah.
of the fire? What do you mean by that? What level you guys playing?
On the stage Heat, it'll like when the furnace is on, you'll see fire appearing on the little side LEDs, and then when it starts spinning rapidly, it'll turn into boiling lava, and after that, it'll say cool down.
Oh god,
When there's
this
no fire.
stage just started spinning
It's awesome.
on relay.
Oh God, speed upgrade
Oh, yeah,
is
you
wonderful
got on
right
the,
here.
uh,
Oh shit.
When you get on the elevator on Relay, it
Yeah, it starts
rotates
spinning.
the camera.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Okay, at least
Is that when
one,
you
but
get
my
off?
It might just be that there's not much like in terms of like texture to like see what's actually going on, so it like felt really weird to me.
There's not much in the background. And then when you get off the
Yeah.
elevator, you're walking into the screen rather than like across.
Yeah. Oh no,
Uh-oh.
I fell down.
yeah, I got a D rank on Embryo,
Aw.
but I'll try Vespula. I haven't played her in a long time, so I'm going to get rocked. I know it.
Vespula's not too
I
hard,
believe you.
especially if you play as, I want to say, it's either Lemon or Coral. One of those two is really good.
Both.
Also Aubergine, obviously.
Pretty much anyone is pretty decent at her except for actually Cactus is pretty eh. The flamethrower is pretty good though.
Oh right, Starch isn't a good choice for her though. I don't
She's
care.
alright.
Oh, no, I've never had no starch.
I think the rockets are good in like the non-wasp phases, and also in the wasp phases, the rockets are good if you can hit it when they're contracting and in like a tight blob, because they got a small AoE. I actually think I ended up like close to top score on Starch for a while.
Oh, I need that battery. Don't disappear, oh, battery disappeared.
So do you have like the top scores, or are they actually?
No, they're actually players.
Okay.
But I haven't tried to actively beat many of them in a while. I set some high ones like a while back, and then people beat them. So I could go back and I could start trying again. I mean, I can S plus every level with every character, but not necessarily to the perfect range that like Solon and
No
some of those guys
bugs!
do.
No bugs! Ah, damn it!
Well, Solon's
Yeah.
crazy. Sarah Sharpie's crazy.
Yes.
I also really like Holly's cannonball against Vespula. That's real good.
Oh, it's so funny when it like just plows into him.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Give me.
Those guys that hit the ground and then they shoot off like the red.
The laser.
Yeah, not the laser. They're like red eruptions coming from the ground.
Oh yeah, the shockwaves, the red bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're pretty
that
cool.
guy's rough.
I had like 2 of them at once, and
Damn
every time
it.
I would like get up from it, I would like fall down again. Oh god, so many enemies.
My favorite enemies are introduced in World 4. I think they're in levels 3 and 4 of World 4 only in the game right now. But they'd be
Ow.
the Reapers who teleport and shoot lasers at you.
Oh my, that sounds like a fun enemy.
Yeah,
Let's
you should play
try-
Repeater. Repeater's a really fun level.
I think Coral's what I usually use for Vespula.
Yeah,
Actually-
Coral's pretty good with her
No,
shotgun.
I like Holly, the cannonball, though. I think Holly's who I used to play the most. But I'll try
Yeah,
Coral.
Holly's who I'm playing right now. She's real nice. Yes.
I like the Seeker rockets. I don't have to aim very well.
So
Have you tried Repeater before? It's hard, but it's really cool. I think.
I'll jump to it after I beat Vespula here. Which
So when
might be
you,
about 3 hours from now.
So the music is dynamic based on sort of like how you're doing in the game, but what exactly determines it? Is it the battery or is it the...
It actually
like-
takes into account like 4 or 5 different things. Technically, it's driven by like a 0 to 1 value that's determined by lots of other things that we call like an intensity meter. So some of the things that influence it are the pure point value of the enemies that are on like in the play space at any given moment. So the more and more enemies there are, the more intense it's determined to be. Then it takes into it, and that's only like a tiny portion of it. Then it takes into account how many enemies you defeated in like the last few seconds as kind of like a rolling aggregate of how much destruction you're creating.
Yeah.
So by using
that's
those
really
two,
complex.
you can kind of detect that there's like you're killing a lot of things. There's a lot of high energy action going down, and there's a lot of enemies on screen.
Oh god, Reapers.
And it takes into account a few other things that kind of like. I think we simplified it at one point so that it was a little bit more reliable in terms of when it amped up and amped down. But as a general rule, if you're playing well and defeating lots of things quickly and not about to die or like not kind of playing passively, it'll be either mid-range or maxing out. And I think I'm not sure, but Jeff's tinkering with the idea of adding a like final audio layer that only turns on when like you're playing absolutely near perfectly, like ridiculous amount of chain and kind of
So like
crushing it.
the
So like
near
why you're
end
S
of
plus in
the
your level,
S plus
basically.
runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got rocked
but
on
we're
Holly.
still
So,
experimenting with that concept rather than like locking it in.
I'm gonna try this character
This
that
is
I'm terrible with.
really cool level. The what was it Repeater? I think it is.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
where it like builds up and goes away as you move around.
Yeah.
So I
So
guess
Repeater has like a number of ground tiles, and they basically relocate to try and match whatever direction you're walking in, while also keeping in consideration the enemies and power-ups.
Is there like
sure,
a static
Zip,
number of tiles, or does it change depending on like what it needs?
sure, Zippy.
No, it's a totally
Post a
static
shuffle.
number of tiles. So it has like a pool. When you first draw in every single tile that's there, like it's not creating new tiles, it's simply moving them. So you'll notice the ones on the edge actually like collapse down, fall down, move across the stage, and then reappear in other areas.
Yeah. Do the ones that are like obstacles? Do those like increase in frequency, like being put up, like as you go, or is it just based on like random?
None of it's random. Actually, nothing in the whole game is random. So the ones that are obstacles are generated by a tile map kind of pattern that we generate. So we have a pattern that then is repeated infinitely across the world.
Yeah.
And it just can kind of appear random depending on where you're walking and what you're doing. It's actually one of the philosophies we have in the
Damn
whole
it.
game is
Oh, hey, there's the Reapers.
No.
Because
Oh,
I've like
wow.
reached the point where now everything is flat. So
yeah, that's a different area in the stage. We switch between different pattern tiles depending on how far you are through the stage.
okay.
But yeah, like even in the game, if you think of something that's random, like the direction the boss moves, or the type of power up that spawns, or any element you could think of that you might think would be random in the game, is actually
Yeah.
deterministic based on like the second that it occurs or the X and Y position of your character. So if
Yeah.
you were to do the exact same thing twice in a row, you would have the exact same result. It just so happens that it's actually humanly impossible to do that.
Which
That's
is,
awesome.
for it to be a score attack game, I'm glad there's no random elements, you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you.
Shit.
It's like old-fashioned random actually, where it's based on like your inputs and stuff.
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
in old like Zelda games, like Link to the Past and things like that. Or not Link to the Past, like the original Zelda game. Any sort of drops or anything is based on your, moves, your button presses, and the amount of time since the console's been on.
Yeah, and that's like what we think is important is that the game is reliable and that you never feel that it was easier one time and harder another time just due to like, luck. But it's all you're creating your
Oh,
own luck.
Bugs, leave me alone,
Yeah.
Bugs.
Oh, boy.
I think shooting the black hole where you are standing is a dangerous ploy.
Yeah. That wasn't where I wanted to shoot. It didn't quite work out how I had planned. Give me the battery.
Okay.
Oh, the battery's clear over there. Shit, no, the battery's right there. Give me the battery! No. Oh.
Alright, it's time to see if I can S plus Vespula.
I'm going to try. What were
I
you
only
guys
got a
talking
C on
about?
her.
Repeater? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a cool stage.
I can't wait until it's all textured, because that'll be really cool.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. And again, that's another one of those levels that's out in space, so it'll be like little hovering jet-powered space platform things realigning themselves. And
Now, this quantum singularity, the black hole weapon, does that actually do damage itself, or is it pretty much just to get enemies in one spot to death yo-yo them?
it has two properties. The first one is on impact, it does a really high impact damage, so you want to hit big enemies with it. And then its second property is whatever is in the black hole in the center is taking a damage over time.
Okay. And then the third property is corralling enemies for you.
Oh yeah. I just meant damage-wise. So
Okay, this
it
level
has
is
impact damage, then a dot.
crazy.
Yeah, this level's cool.
Yeah,
The
it's a
Reapers
little
are
bit
my
overwhelming the first time.
Okay, those Reapers, kind of terrifying.
A little bit.
They're really neat.
Oh, yeah, I like them.
How long does it take from like you guys having an idea for like an enemy until it's like fully like fleshed out the way most of them are?
I think in terms of time, part of it, like one of the biggest costs is actually us figuring out whether or not the enemy is interesting and adds to the game, because we have to consider all the other enemies in the game and like try and make sure it's not overlapping in role. We don't like to add something if it's just going to be like a graphical variant, because we think that's like a waste. So every enemy has a distinct role and like method for their existence, and kind of fills out in the this is going to sound cheesy, but like the kind of the tapestry of the game, right? So the Reapers do something that no other enemy does and give you a type of challenge that's different from like the rocket dogs, the bombs, the green kegs that are zone control versus the white kegs that are slow moving, like positional zone control. And that stuff can take a while to plan out conceptually what an enemy does and make sure it's not just like we think, oh, this would look cool, which is a bad reason to kind of make something.
Yeah.
And then from there, like Tim does all the art and most of the programming while we work together on the concept and making sure they're doing what we want. So it can take a couple days, maybe a little bit longer depending on the complexity. If it's something that's reusing an existing enemy type, so it's like the same model but new animations and new behavior, that's shorter. But if Tim has to model it, like usually modeling and texturing can take a day or two.
So like each new fighter doesn't take very long, but
Yeah,
like
like the big rocket dog, for example, was about a day, whereas like the original rocket dog was probably closer to a week kind of thing.
Damn it, I'm getting rocked here. I cannot play this character for shit.
Although actually the rocket dog's a bad example because the big rocket dog is actually a new model with different properties, but conceptually I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fedora, once you're ready, you should try out Convection. I wanna see how you handle it.
By death, I'm sure. Come on, battery. Oh,
It is.
Okay.
See, what up?
This bullet spammy thing needs to die, please.
You gotta hit it.
There we go.
Oh my god. I hate it when I run just slightly too close to Vespula and can't get away from her.
Yeah,
melee attack.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, like, so I'm playing as Coral because I want to try to get a ton of damage on her, but if I run in too close during the non-wasp phases, I'm SOL pretty much.
I hate getting pinned against the wall by the wasp swarm.
Yeah, I need
Oh
to
yeah.
switch androids, I think, if I'm gonna do this correctly. I think Holly was the...
What? I
Holly's
blocked.
like
How do I kill these things? I can't get to them.
Walk around them. I'll see you on
Avoid
stream
them.
in a second.
Okay, I'm gonna switch Android because I cannot play her. I'll try Ollie.
Oh.
I think I do like Holly a lot. The cannonball is just so much fun if you line up a great shot.
Oh yeah.
Convection, huh? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That one is basically the hardest stage in the game currently.
Oh god, yes, I
the one
played
with
this.
the-
The firewalls.
Yeah. She said World 4 was like outer space. What's World 5?
It's kind of like the core of the ship, so it's all very clean sci-fi and yeah, kind of like I guess similar to conceptually the center of the Enterprise. You know, like at the end of the last movie when it's all that clean sci-fi style.
Yeah. That's neat.
You know, speed up
This is-
is serving me really well right now. Not now though. It was. Firewalls.
Stand in the fire.
There's like hidden stuff when it comes to like the
Quoting Krendor now.
What? Oh.
He said, "Don't stand in the fire." It's a whole meme thing that Krendor
Yeah, no, I
YouTuber
know,
started.
I know
But
that. I was just like,
don't stand in the fire. Get out of the fire. Get out of the
no,
fire.
like, wow. I was like, why would you quote a WoW guy? You know.
Don't worry, Ricky Bobby. I'll put out the invisible flames.
But like the yellow power up gives you like a 1/3 dodge chance and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's there in the tutorial that talks about it, but they're kind of like not the immediately apparent nature of things. So like when you're moving really fast, you dodge some of the attacks.
Oh,
And
I actually
when
know
you,
that.
when you pick up the blue one, you're temporarily invulnerable while it like recharges your shields. So you can kind of time them. Like
Battery.
if you're low on health. If you're low on health and you grab a blue one, you're guaranteed a shield recharge, plus you're invulnerable, so you can do something reckless for about like a second and a half, 2 seconds. Or if you grab the yellow one, you can kind of play a little bit riskier. The yellow one draws pickups towards you as well. The red one just gives you guns, because like guns are pretty self-explanatory.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Big thing in the middle. Good.
Although I
Yeah,
would
it gives
say
you,
blue
it
is
gives you
probably my
guns and
favorite.
it makes
Especially
you
for boss
slightly
fights.
cooler for 30 seconds.
I like speed upgrade. It's really fun.
Well, it sucks everything towards you, so you start getting your weapon powered up faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone seems to think the gun one's the best upgrade, but the speed upgrade I think is my favorite.
I think
I
it depends
personally
on
have
what
to
you're
go
doing.
with the lockdown or shutdown.
Yeah, enemies take more
Especially
damage
against
when they're locked
bosses
down
too, because
as well.
Holly's cannonball plus lockdown will just basically two-shot Embryo's phases.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. I actually had Embryo's like timings memorized when I was trying to S plus him, like for all the power ups and stuff. It was like I was trying to figure out like how I could make it so I could get the right power ups when I needed to.
Give me that. I killed myself to grab this power up.
I am looking forward to hopefully speedruns of this game if they ever happen.
I don't know whether they will because of it comes down to like it is sort of there are a few like areas where it's like an auto scroller almost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At the same time, though, most of the, like, I guess, auto-scrolling elements, as you're calling them, are dependent on how well you're doing in game.
Yeah.
If you're kicking ass, you aren't even gonna notice it.
I was nowhere close to her, and she freaking spun, and I was dead. Did you increase like the radius on that, maybe?
Shit.
On what, sir?
On her like spin attack?
Oh no, she's always had a much bigger radius than Embryo.
Ah, there's my S+, finally.
Congratulations.
Yes!
Where'd you get an S+ on the first level?
Hive, first level of World 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I like
had
Hive.
all of World 1 and like a couple of World 2 for a while, and then like all the redos and things.
Yeah, sure you did.
Actually, at every level
Yeah.
S+, I know the secret.
We only have like 3 fully static levels in the whole game, like where there's no dynamic element. And
Some
actually,
boss
there's some of
levels.
my favorites. They're like, we've got Hive,
Shit.
Turbine.
This level
and
is
Oxygen.
long.
I really like Hive. Hive's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Hive is a lot of fun. So because it's so many squishy enemies they throw at you.
Yeah.
You said they. You're talking to the they.
Well, yeah, you're right. I sort of thought that in my mind. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Just, maybe no one will point it out. Thanks for that.
It's okay.
You're welcome.
Battery.
Oh my god. Are you gonna actually beat this? I would
Go
be
for it,
so
Fedor. You got
impressed.
this.
It looks like it. I don't know. I've been
Get the
knocked down
battery.
like 20 times, but
Oh,
You got it. You got it. Oh
Come
my
on,
god,
man.
you got this. Get up, get the lockdown.
oh god, that is basically the entirety of the stage. Battery, battery. Where's the end of the stage?
exactly. It's like, why is it not over
Battery.
yet?
Get the battery. Get up.
Part of the reason why it's so intense is just like it feels like it never ends. Part of the reason why I'm looking forward to endless mode actually.
I'm
Oh,
really
yeah,
looking
endless
forward to
mode's
when this
Hey.
this level
I
gets
finished
all
the,
its textures and stuff.
Oh yeah, this level's gonna be a bunch of boilerplates that like destroy you. It's gonna be interesting once it's got graphics.
Oh my god, he beat it.
Almost
Yeah.
a C rank.
Got it.
That level is intense. Holly,
yeah.
Congratulations.
I only beat it because Holly is awesome. And I think it's time to move on to our Kickstarter spotlight and try to get this wrapped up eventually. But this is Salt Ender and Cactus. Go ahead and drop your link once more. It's on Steam. Buy it. $15. I was going to ask, do you have any kind of time frame on when a loose time frame on when you think it will actually be a completed game?
Mid-year.
Mid-year? Not bad. Not too far
Yeah.
off.
So yeah. We were horribly wrong the last few times we planned this out, but then we did some stuff that took some time. We went to a few conferences, we looked at like, some console dev stuff. We had a Vita version running at GDC, which was pretty cool.
Oh really?
And
Neat.
now we're back to like solidly focused, finish the PC version for people because we need to put out a new update, get that 7th character and 3rd boss in people's hands.
I do want to see a new boss.
And some of the other modes as well. I mean, endless mode is kind of coming along. We've got the levels fully done now, the level design. So anyway, continue on with your Kickstarter.
Kickstarter Spotlight today is Pop-Up Dungeon, which is doing rather well. 22 days left to go. It's at $35,000 of its $80,000 goal. And this game is very unique. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer. And that was the trailer. It's an epic music. It's like seriously epic music in that trailer. This game looks goddamn wonderful.
I have one problem with it, like, out of the gate.
What's that?
Is the make your own weapon is going to be used for so many lewd things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have a dildo sword.
Well,
Absolutely.
on the bright side, their melee animations are going to need some serious work. So, you know.
Yes, it's in very.
Oh god, the melee animation is terrible. I like the magic and rain stuff, but the melee, it's like, oh, can't you put a bit more effort into that?
But it's Kickstarter. You know, it's still extremely
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
just saying.
I've actually
But, like,
talked
for
to.
real, there's literally going to be, like... Because you, like, import a picture, it's going to be, like, a huge amount of very lewd things going on.
Yep, and if the penetrator from Saints Row isn't in the game by somebody on the first day of launch, I will be horribly disappointed.
I'm thinking they're going to put something even more real than that, because they can put a picture in there. So it's like, I feel like that's going to be weird because you have co-op and stuff, and I think it's online.
Yep. But you
Yeah.
can't blame a
You're
game
going to have to
for...
do some kind of moderation, that's for certain.
I know you can't blame the game, but it seems like a very, like, easy to, you know...
Can't blame the game, but you
Swindle it.
can blame the lack of moderation, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like anything with user-generated content. There's always going to be that. I mean, how many penis towers have been in Minecraft? Seriously. Granted, this can be more realistic since it's actually image
Since
files.
it's a
but-
picture and it can actually be a view as opposed to Minecraft.
Yes.
There's gonna need to be some moderation, yeah.
But
Definitely.
I'm
I kind
always...
of find it
Go
I find
ahead.
it interesting they're on the Wii U. Like, Windows, Mac, Linux, they're not... I can't tell if they're on Android because it's, like, sort of grayed out on their,
I
like,
see.
video thing, but they're on the Wii U of all things, like, next.
The more platforms, the
Think
better,
of
in
it-
my opinion, especially when it's something
Well,
that's around
I'm not-
user-generated
I'm not,
content.
like, saying that, like, the more platforms, but I'm saying, like, the Wii U as their first platform to go to.
I think it's actually the perfect fit for this game because you'll be able to do a lot of the creation stuff on the gamepad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, yeah.
and you can do like dungeon master stuff potentially as well. I don't know.
Yes, they
Could be interesting.
they actually recently there's an update saying that Dungeon Master mode has been pushed up in priority because people wanted it so much. So it was going to be like a stretch goal, but I think it got pushed up into base game thing. So because people are like, I want Dungeon Master mode, which would be freaking wonderful in this game.
Oh yeah. I'll have to get a couple of my
Also,
friends together
you
and
can
buy
make
this on my
your
way.
own. You can import your own theme music, and create your own tombstone.
Ooh.
That's right. You can sit
Penis
there and play
tombstones. I'll do it. I will.
The phallic menace.
You can actually grab the template to make your own character off the Kickstarter right now, and you can like get it ready.
You can.
Yeah,
I
it's-
can start working on it.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like the official template to me. So
Where do you see this?
Scroll down.
I've seen it.
scroll down the front page.
Okay.
You'll see one that's made out, and you can probably just grab it and then edit it and use it later.
So it's kind of interesting. The Wii U is actually a stretch goal, but they already have it like sort of up there.
Oh, how much do they need to do the Wii U version?
100K. So not much over there.
Yeah,
No.
that's weird then. That they
Yeah.
A lot of them always post what their wanted platforms as, you know, what their. That's pretty common on Kickstarter.
They
Show
might-
all the
they might already
platforms they
have,
want
like,
to hit.
They might have like a deal with them where it's like, if we get this funding, we'll go to you. Because I guess you have to get licensing for Nintendo.
Which isn't cheap.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, yeah, it probably costs about, you know, the 10 grand more than they need for the last stretch goal.
But yeah, your
So-
your point about like lewd content, I'd
Yeah.
say I'm not sure how content sharing is going to be done. I don't know if there's going to be like inside the game where you like, oh, browse what other people have made. If there is a way, which kind of looks like with this vending machine, I'm pretty sure the ones that show up on there would definitely need to have curation, you know. But then there's always the method of sharing files, the actual files, instead of doing it through the in-game method. So, you know, if you want that
Yeah.
stuff, you go look for it, kind of thing. I hope it's
It's
done
actually
that
kinda
way. I hope it's done
It's
that way.
interesting, at 130,000, there's a bonus tile stat. Or there's one at 90K. which means like there's an entirely new set of the dungeon, you know,
Awesome.
and each there's also they've got 3 bonus tile set ones, and if they get to 240K, they will put in voice acting. So
That would be cool. Especially, they need a higher Vapid for that.
they say anyone got Syrian's phone number underneath that.
Do it, Vapid. That would be wonderful. Make him the narrator or something. And again, if you like memes, this is the game for you, because there's going to be memes everywhere. You know everyone's going to create every meme in existence. There's going to be
Bad Luck Brian.
Oh my god, that could be cool.
I'm gonna play as Bad Luck Brian, and it's gonna be the greatest game.
Look, Brian.
And by that I mean the worst, because it's gonna be the hardest character.
You'll record like your gameplay, and at the end of each episode, you just have to die in the most ridiculous manner.
Yeah, just no RNG for you. It never works out.
There will be a dick butt character, I guarantee it. Character model. In every other meme in existence. Let's see what the stretch goals are. Let's see what the highest stretch goal is. Voice acting is the highest stretch goal.
Which is kind of interesting. I think they could do some other cool stuff. Like, they have character and enemy pack in there. They have iOS and Android. An extra scenario. So I guess there's going to be like a scenario to it. More soundtrack elements.
I want this game, that's all I gotta say.
It does seem really cool.
It does.
And they already got on Steam, didn't they?
They already got greenlit, yes. I believe so. Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Although that's kind
Although
of
honestly, I'll probably have to pick up this one on the Wii U for when the friends come over. Do that Dungeon Master mode.
yeah.
Android,
It's
I
kind
want
of-
that. I'll play this at work. When I'm supposed to work.
It's kind of neat that they got greenlit, but they're not even sure they're going to make the game yet.
At their current rate, 22 days, and they've almost hit half. So they're
Actually,
8 days
the time
in.
we've been talking, it rolled over to 21 days.
Oh, okay.
You refresh, or at least on mine it says 21 days.
All right, but still, they're almost at half, only 9
Yeah.
days in, so it's looking pretty damn good, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a
Yeah.
video of it. I've actually been in contact with their PR person. And they have a build, but the build isn't suitable for making videos because it's suitable for making the cool trailer they just did, but there's no AI yet. So the enemies will just stand there and take hits, which they cut it in well to show that in the trailer, enemies, but there's no actual enemy AI yet. The customization's in and still needs work and polished, and all the cool stuff, but the AI and stuff they don't have any whatsoever yet. So, which is understandable. It's Kickstarter, not Kick Finisher, which a lot of people use it for. So,
Yeah.
welcome back, Zippy again.
I'm kind of interested with a hot seat,
Yep.
what that's going to be.
Hot seat multiplayer. You multiplayer on the same device, kind of thing.
Oh, is that how it is?
That hot seat multiplayer means each person takes their turn and then the next person takes over the same controls. They don't have their individual controls, which it's called hot seat because you're switching seats pretty much to keep rotating the people and it's their turn. That's what hot seat multiplayer is. It's usually in RTSs that you see hot seat multiplayer and in grand strategy, so each person takes their turn and switches over to the next person. I've never been really a fan of hot seat multiplayer. I'm sure there will be non-hot seat multiplayer too, but...
Well, it says online co-op, so...
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
oh man, the videos you can make out of this, putting all your own stuff in it, be really
Yeah.
cool. Seriously
It's almost
awesome.
like, it'd be kind of neat if they release I kind of wish, more game companies would do something like Valve, where they make their game, movie-making, program.
Yeah. Oh god, that would be pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and wrap this up since we're going on half an hour over now. So this was it, Pop-Up Dungeon. I just linked it. Let's go ahead and do our outro. Go ahead and you can start.
I want to suggest
Uh-huh.
a Kickstarter that I think is cool
What's
that
that?
people may not know about. It's called Treachery in Beatdown City.
I do know about it. I made a
It's
video
awesome.
of it during its... Didn't it fail its Kickstarter and then try again? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they're doing a new one. Gotta look.
Yeah, I did a
Awesome.
video of
I
it
think
during
it's
its
awesome.
first. It is. It's interesting. The combat doesn't seem like it should work, but it does.
It's the same way that you have the new Fallout games, and you go, they shouldn't be able to do the turn-based stuff, but they do, and it's awesome. There's a link, I think.
Yep. I might have to do another
yeah.
video of it since they are doing a new Kickstarter.
Treachery and Beatdown City.
I'm hoping they see I get turned around at the end and somehow bust it out. You never know.
I've seen it happen.
But the game, I've played it. Like I met up with them at GDC, and I played the game, and I thought it was awesome. So I recommend it.
It is pretty cool. The they now have a no, they don't have a demo on the page, do they?
I don't think so, but you can contact them if you contact.
I have it. I had the
Sean
old
Allen.
version.
Like
It's difficult to
yeah,
run.
he's totally willing to help you get new builds and make videos of it.
Yep. It's difficult because it actually runs in the SDK, which I've never done before. So that definitely was interesting for the demo they sent me previously. Because, it's still very early development. But it was definitely an interesting experience to actually see what it's like to run a game in an SDK.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay, let's wrap up. Luca, start with you. Tell people where they can find you, what you do, why they should care, and drop some links.
Okay. Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/Lukazra. You can find me on Twitter at Lukazra. I'll just type it like that. And what I do, I stream things. Sometimes I play games really fast. I speedrun Anodyne, and so play through what I'm playing that day a lot of the times. And hopefully I'll have more regular streams after school ends, which is in a few days, actually.
Oh, yeah, it is about summertime for you kids, huh?
Well, and I get out on the 9th of May because I'm a senior, so we get out early.
Oh yeah, that was
And
always fun.
You get out permanently. That's got to be a good day. Get out early, permanently,
Yeah.
out of that. And then college, if you're going that direction, but...
Except I play volleyball, and we have things after we're done, so I have to go back to school every day anyway. But
okay, that's
besides
lame.
that, yeah, that's me. And I hang out with some cool people sometimes, and yeah.
Yep. You should stream more, because it's been a while since I've been able to see a stream from you, so... Either you're not doing very many, and not good times for me because of my new job kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't. I've done like 3 in the past month, maybe, so yeah, it hasn't been a lot.
Okay, and then let's go with Sanatana, because I still can't say your name, so...
That's okay. I make video games from time to time, I guess. I'm kind of working on this one. There's a link to the Steam store.
Buy it
we'll play it
now.
You guys seem like you're alright with it, so, check it out. I guess there's a demo. I encourage people to play the demo. If you hate the game, don't buy it, unless you really want to give me some money, in which case, totally buy it.
In which case, go to his PayPal and send it right to him. Then you don't have to buy the game. Steam doesn't have to take their cut,
We're also on a Humble Widget on our website, if you prefer that, and you get a Steam key if you buy it through there anyway. And I get more of the money.
Yeah, I'd always recommend using Humble Widgets if the developer has the option rather than Steam, because more money goes to the developer that way.
Yeah, I've always kind of wondered how Steam is okay with that. Like, developers ask for, I think, several thousand keys, and then, every Humble purchase gets a key to Steam.
They're okay with it because it brings more people to their platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a number of reasons. I might promote the Humble Store version if we ever get on there, but if we were to launch tomorrow, I'd probably promote the Steam link over the Humble widget, even though we get more of a cut, just due to the way getting exposure on Steam is heavily reliant on getting lots of people playing and selling games. So if you're moving up the the top sellers list or something like that. It's a different world than it was a few years ago, actually. I think it's going to be a lot tougher for people to just release on Steam and do well. You really need people, promoting your game on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of respect for Steam and their liberal use of keys for games, because no other business really does that. I mean, it allows other sites to just straight up resell the Steam keys and stuff like that. From a business standpoint, that seems like a horrible idea, but it really does, build more trust with Steam and how they allow that. And again, it's on the theory of if someone gets a game that's a Steam key and has never installed Steam before, it gets them using the platform, so they'll buy more games through their platform, is the theory behind it.
Well, and they aren't working to any, like, shareholders' goals. That's the one thing Valve has, is they're an independent company.
Exactly. All right, Gingerdragon, go ahead.
All right. I'm, of course, Gingerdragon. I'm here every every Saturday now, even if my higher intelligence tells me not to. But I'm sorry. You can follow me over there on Twitter with at GingerdragonYT. I talk about video games. I talk about being a dragon. It's all good and fun. Over there on my YouTube, of course, is the next one, Gingerdragon87 over there, as well as on Twitch. Twitch, I just kind of stream games and we hang out, and it's all jolly good fun. YouTube, I do some Let's Plays on the more informed side of things, as well as first impressions, and yeah, that's about it right now. Starting my Dark Souls Let's Play, probably tomorrow is when the first episode's going to go up. Dark Souls 2. I'm enjoying the massive influx, but unlike the massive influx, I actually know what the hell I'm doing, so we're gonna make progress. Bandwagon, ho!
I might have actually watched those to learn how to actually play the game, then I might buy it.
Slash your sword and win.
Not quite, but...
Oh, don't
I'll let you say that.
That's stupid.
Alright, and I am... You done?
Well, also FTL, but... You know,
oh, yes. You should watch his FTL videos. They're actually really good, and his encyclopedic knowledge of FTL is actually rather impressive.
Have you been playing the new thing with FTL?
Yeah.
So is that like an actual DLC, or is it just like an update?
It's an update. If you have FTL, you've got it.
Oh, nice. Then I'll actually play it.
It's really good. It's really good. And I respect the devs a lot for giving such a large content update for free.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I was watching one of the new ships where you have like an infinite number of crew. You have like a clone room or whatever, and you just keep recycling your crew.
I know exactly the ship you're talking about, the Federation Type C.
Clone base is pretty cool, but it can go horribly wrong in an instant. If like some of your crew members are dead and a missile hits your cloning bay while they're trying to clone, then you lose those.
Yeah, but no, he's more referring to not just the clone bay in general, but a particular ship that's completely designed around suicide bombing the enemy ship with your crew.
Yep.
I was watching, I think his name's Lethal Frag, because I was awake at like 3 a.m. and he's the only person that was streaming at that time. And he's doing hard mode, or hard difficulty, no pausing.
Oh, God.
That is ridiculous.
It was crazy. He won that round by like using that shit.
I could hardly be easy mode with pausing constantly.
Yeah.
It was interesting. In I think it was episode 8 of my Let's Play. So I had it started off with a beacon that was so freaking brutal and difficult that somebody actually thought I was playing on hard difficulty.
Nice.
Even though it was on normal. Ooh, that was nasty though.
Who was that does those hard mode no pauses?
Lethal Frag.
Lethal Frag.
Man, link him. Like, give that dude credit for that. If you know the link. But I am, of course, Fedora Gamer. I primarily a YouTuber. Streaming-wise is pretty much just this weekly podcast. So you can find me over at youtube.com/Fedora Gamer. And if I hit enter, I can actually put that in the chat. And you can also find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Fedora Gamer. Follow if you're watching this live and not following this, hit the follow button for the next podcast every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or stupid early in the morning for Australians. And thanks for coming out, guys.
What exact time is it out there?
It's 9:32 a.m. now.
It's not that bad.
It's 7 a.m. on a Sunday when you guys start, for me.
Yeah. Well, I wake up at 6 o'clock every day, so...
I'm glad we changed it to Saturdays, though, because then otherwise it was actually on Mondays for Australians. So I wanted to have Sanatana on previously, but, it was Monday morning when he had to work is when it was, so it works out better on Saturday now.
Yeah.
Just might be a little early.
It was a little bit early. I may have been up until about 2 or 3 a.m. working on stuff.
Sounds like normal indie dev.
Something like that. I had a friend over and we were trying to deal with a specific problem, but it all worked out.
And I do appreciate you get up butt crack of dawn to join us on our humble little podcast. It was a pleasure having you.
Oh, it was awesome. It was very fun.
And bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.